Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the X-Rated Sports Network, where the takes get loud and the truth get exposed. Let's talk about it. X-Rated Sports Network. If it's game time talk, we the ones who connect. X-Rated Sports Network, where the hot takes live and the truth get checked. East Coast talk, West Coast swagger. Stats on the board, yeah, the debate get louder. No filter talk, yeah, we calling the play. If it's sports conversation, we leading the way. From the hardwood to the gridiron plays, breaking every matchup, every headline debate. X-Rated Sports Network. Yeah, remember the name.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network for perhaps our biggest episode yet. You can see the cast of characters, which will be introduced here in a second. 3 p.m. Eastern time, we've got the great Reggie Theus joining us, head coach of Bethune-Cookman, their AD as well. They won the SWAC in the regular season. He won Coach of the Year, so we're excited to welcome Coach back. It is Rick Kamla. Upper left, we have, of course, Dr. X. In the lower right, we have Dwight Walton. And out in LA, we have not one, not two, not three, but four people. We have B-Dot, a.k.a. Brandon Armstrong, and we have Daylan Bonner, we have Ashley Nevel, and we have Katie Felber in honor of Women's History Month. We are expanding the repertoire here a little bit, welcoming in some new talent. And a big shout out to Dr. X's wife, Shalea, who was our first moderator and host, and one of the best singers in the world, by the way. But Daylan, Ashley, and Katie, welcome to the X-Rated Sports Network family. It is great to have you on the show.
Can't hear anybody.
Do
Can
we?
you hear us?
Yeah, we got you.
Can
we
you
got
hear
you.
us?
Ladies, welcome to the
Okay,
show.
good.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you so much.
so
Thank
happy to be
you.
here,
Yeah,
honestly.
Women's History Month. It's a blessing to be here.
It's a blessing to have you, and it's also a huge day. It is National Doctors Day. So shout out to one of the top sports medicine radiologists in America, Dr. X. Shout out to Dr. Nab. So happy National Doctors Day, Doc.
Well, Rick,
Thanks, Doc.
thank you. And this is thank you. This is UConn. I went to medical school at UConn, University of Connecticut. They gave me a full tuition scholarship. We were on the Farmington campus around the corner from 50 Cent / Mike Tyson's old pad. And yeah, we had season tickets to the Stars games as well as to the ones in Hartford. So it was a great experience. So I'll always choose always choose UConn over Duke. But I also went to Duke for my sports medicine fellowship in radiology as well.
Well, that's where we're going to start with the Dr. X Bowl, which, of course, was just absolutely fantastic. Daylan Bonner, a sports influencer, Ashley Nevel, NBA reporter and host, and Katie Felber, host of the Sad Sox podcast and former D1 lacrosse player at Cal Berkeley. So let's dive into this. I mean, you got some breaking news here. Cameron Boozer is going to leave Duke and go to the NBA. Okay, we all knew that. His brother, I'm not sure. No reporting on that. Rick Pitino, there was a little bit of uncertainty, but he has signed a new deal with St. John's. He will be back there. And Shane Tuttle's reporting that North Carolina is expected to hire Billy Donovan. So the jokes that I was saying last week have come to fruition here, guys. He's bolting the NBA, going back to the college ranks, and that the writing was on the wall there. So the Final Four is set on the men's side. Illinois, Arizona, and I should say Ashley Nevel's Arizona Wildcats, U of A, Michigan, and UConn, of course, Doc Squad. So I have a quick not-so-random complaint. Can we please now stop calling Iowa head coach Ben McCollum the best coach in college basketball? I mean, what a joke. I mean, the guy's 1 year there, didn't even make the fun. Oh, he's the best coach. No, he's not, okay? Prisoner of the moment, sit out, okay? All right, now let's get to our first debate question. We just watched an incredible basketball game. All right. I'm seeing Doc. He's going UConn and all this and Duke's kicking their ass. And Doc, I was pulling for UConn. Okay. Because Duke's like America's team, like Cowboys, like the Yankees. And I don't hate them. I just can't cheer for them. And I usually like a lot of their players, but it's just a Duke thing. So I'm a huge Dan Hurley guy. So I was rocking with UConn, hanging in there. And when they got it, Doc, it was either 7 or 8, and they got it to 5. And I was like, that's the breakthrough. Here they come, because they couldn't get over that hump. But anyway, let's go to the ladies first on this one. Daylan Bonner, let's start with you. We got a 45-second clock, okay? But ladies and everybody, it's a soft clock, okay? Kind of like the cap used to be in the NBA, okay? They used to have a soft cap, remember? So it's a soft clock, all right? But here's the question. Was that Daylan Bonner a UConn comeback or a Duke collapse?
Duke for sure. Choked. Oh my gosh, they're up like 20 at half, right? And then you're looking at it, it's just slowly chipping away. Mm-hmm. And then you see Caden Boozer with the ball, and you're like, okay, he's just gonna hold it. He's gonna get fouled. We're gonna play the free throw game.
Yeah,
throws it away.
I mean, I agree with her. It's like you have one job. You train all season for this. I don't know if it was nerves or what, but like, I played college lacrosse, and we would practice for those situations. And it was just, it was heartbreaking, but low-key, like, kind of funny. My friend lost like $2,000 on that.
They got complacent, because you took a look at their first game against Siena, and they were down, and they even said they weren't prepared.
Right.
How do you come into that not prepared? You're the number 1 seed, number 1 team in the country, and you show up not ready to play.
Right.
So I'm not surprised that it happened, if I'm being completely honest. I actually did not want to take them in my Final Four. I was not feeling comfortable, especially with their injuries. But yeah, that was a total Duke collapse.
Yep.
Not going to say I was happy to see it, but I like to see an underdog win. And UConn was the underdog there.
Yeah.
And they deserved to win. I mean, that bucket was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Mullins was 0 for 4, I believe, before that shot.
Yeah.
And he still had the confidence to take it.
Yeah.
Duke got everything they deserved. They punched themselves in the mouth.
And now you have 2 UConn teams also on the men's side and the women's side.
Yeah.
You love to see it. I don't know if you guys saw that video of the women's team reacting, but that was just incredible. I mean, the energy. How do you not love a moment like that? So, yeah, I think Duke choked. It was
for sure.
They didn't execute, sadly.
And like Cameron Boozer ended up hitting that last bucket, and it's like, okay, like we're good. And it's like, like you passed to your twin.
Yeah.
Hoping that like, okay, we're going to end this game together. And it's like, I mean, in the embryo, somebody had a little more nutrients.
Yeah. That's he was fed more.
A little different,
Yes. That's so true.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You want to talk about beyond the surface nutrients in the womb as an embryo? Are you serious? That's the deepest we've ever gone.
He was fed.
That's the deepest we've ever gone right there.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? All right. So ladies, do we have 3 for 3 from you all before we move on to the rest of the panel here? Is it 3 for 3 that was a Duke either choke or collapse, or do any of you think that was more of a UConn comeback?
Not a UConn comeback. Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised considering the pedigree that UConn has. I mean, they have winning in their DNA. This is the 3rd Final Four they've gotten to in the last 4 years. Dan Hurley won back-to-back in that stretch. So I'm not surprised. Dan Hurley does this. This is what he does. Like, this is why he's one of the best coaches in the NCAA. I mean, we could tell Iowa coach that he got nothing on Dan Hurley. He needs to sit down, okay? But yeah, this UConn team, like, I'm not going to say I'm surprised, because this is March Madness. We expect this to happen. We expect teams to get knocked off. But overall, it was the biggest Duke collapse I think we've seen since last year?
Oh,
so
yeah.
This is what they do.
This is what
they collapse.
You guys, like, I think that's just the cruelty of the tournament in general. Like, you can be a star for 39 minutes, and then people just remember you for like the last 10 seconds. You just have to live with that. And I feel like it's more so for the men's. Like, it's so chaotic and expected of the men's game. Women's game, a little more predictable. We'll get into that. But I feel like, I don't know, you kind of have to expect the unexpected with the men's, and the shit could not be predicted. I didn't predict this, but I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
March Madness.
March Madness.
So I heard a man named B-Dot. I heard a man named B-Dot in his awesome hat out in our LA studio. B-Dot, what's up, dude? World traveler. I see you getting buckets on IG and just serving it up to these fools out here. All right, B-Dot, was that a UConn comeback or a Duke collapse?
I mean, I think what actually makes it more of a UConn comeback than a Duke collapse because of their pedigree and they've been there before. You know, it was more Duke playing not to lose versus, you know, playing to win. And I'm pretty sure Hurley got in their ass like, hey, bro, y'all need to get y'all ish together. You feel me? We've been here before. We playing against these young ass boys. We don't like Duke, and do what you got to do. And I feel as though, you know, Dan Hurley, that coaching staff and that team, you know, together, they came together and they chipped away and they knocked it down. Like she said, Mullen was 0 for 4. You got to have that mentality, you know, when playing basketball. You got to forget that last play, and that's something that Duke didn't do. They kept remembering, oh, damn, we made a mistake. Let's not try to make this next mistake, and they end up piling up, and shit, they sit at home with us. So shout out to UConn, and yeah, they might get another. They might Cinderella UConn. It's crazy to say because of the, you know, the championship they've won and the back-to-back and the championship pedigree they do have. But to be an underdog, I think that plays right in UConn and Dan Hurley's like wheelhouse. So it's going to be an exciting Final Four. I'm looking forward to this.
Dr. X, these are your squads, man. Oh, pardon me. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just had a funny thought. I also realized there's 3 apex predators at the top of the food chain in the Final Four with like the Wolverines, Huskies, and Wildcats, and then some random other. What's the Illinois one?
Fighting
human.
Fighting
Illini. Yeah,
a fighting human.
Yeah.
Illini.
So I just found that really interesting.
Apex predators. I love it. I love the fresh angles, man. Keep them coming. All right, Dr. X. Dr. X, UConn comeback or Duke collapse, man?
Man, I think it's close, but I'm gonna have to go with a UConn comeback because they did all the right things. And literally, if one of those boxes wasn't checked, it wouldn't go their way. Solo Ball, who was struggling all tournament, even though he hasn't been shooting well, still hit like a couple key buckets, hit a couple key free throws. But the other thing was that when they were 1 of 18, and then they also started playing some of the players they usually don't play. I think a guy last name Smith, he was one of their guards. He hit their first 3. Then the second half, there was Silas Damari. He also hit 2 baseline threes, which were very clutch. And then you had Caravan, who wasn't hitting anything, but had a good tournament until this game. And then he actually hit a deep 3 as well. And then so Braylon Mullins, who's also a McDonald's All-American, who's known for his shooting and stuff, and as a rookie, passed it, rightfully so, to Alex Caravan, but Alex Caravan threw it back to him. So to have all those thoughts in the moment, he passed the ball to the better shot, and he passed it to a rookie, and he's the super senior, and then the rookie has ice in his veins and takes a shot, and it wasn't a heave, it was like a real shot, it was real form, it was a deep shot, it was like a Curry shot from the logo of the March Madness bracket, and switches it in. So, and he was confident about it. He wasn't shocked. He was like, this is us right here. And so to me, I think with all of that, and plus the coaching prowess of Coach Dan Hurley, I think they did all the right things and do all the right things in the last 5 minutes in the game and will yourself to win. I have to say that it was a UConn comeback.
You're right. Like, because a lot of guys will hit that shot and they have the Home Alone face, right? Like, I can't believe I hit that shot. You know, and I was impressed with Dylan Darling of St. John's when he hit that buzzer beater too, because he stunk in that game and he was like, yeah, I'm the man, you know, like he's the gladiator who just slayed like 20 dudes, you know, 2,500 years ago. All right, Dwight Walton. Thank you for waiting, sir. You've been very patient, and here is your turn, my friend. Was that a UConn comeback or a Duke collapse?
Yo, put the clock on first. Oh, come on.
No, we can't do Dwight like that.
Chill on my dog, man. He's got a lot to say.
But you know what? I guess I'm gonna skirt on the fence here and say it's a little bit of both. Because in order for UConn to come back, Duke had to collapse. And after dominating the first half with 45 points, 14 second chance points, they took care of the basketball talking about Duke. We all thought it was a foregone conclusion. They had the 15-point lead going into the half, built it to 19, and then stuff started to happen. Duke started to turn the ball over 8 times to the tune of 16 points off of those turnovers for UConn. They only gave up 2 second chance points in the second half to UConn. To Duke, excuse me. Tarris Reed, who became the player of the game as far as I'm concerned, he kept the UConn Huskies in the game with his physicality and his want to. He wanted the basketball in the low post, got them back in the game, got to the free throw line, allowed UConn's defense to be set. And the defense down the gut of that game for UConn was elite. It was second to none. That's what got him back into the game. And then, as my cousin said before I did, for Alex Caravan to have the wherewithal to give the ball to a freshman, Braylon Mullins, who hadn't shot the ball well at all for the entire game, to make that shot it's a miracle of all miracles. We could talk about where it is in the Pantheon, but it is what it is. So I think it's a little bit of both. You know what? It's not fair. It's not cool. You guys got a chance to talk. I'm talking now.
Right. Just rude, man.
No, I love that.
We just playing. We just playing.
We all think the same. The guys thinking that
it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both.
Dwight,
it's a collapse.
Dwight, I did not.
And a comeback.
Dwight, I did not put up Jason or Kai to that. I didn't. I mean, I thought that was funny. I did. But Dwight, I got you, man. Dwight, I got you. I got your back, man. All right. Here's my answer to this, guys. Braylon Mullins hits a 35-footer to beat Duke almost at the buzzer, right? He was 4 for 23 in the tournament heading into that shot per NCAA. And then I looked it up and that stat was wrong. So I'm sorry I read that. But this is a UConn comeback, okay? One of the most improbable heroes in March history, in my opinion, Byron Mullins, based on what he did in that game. He did have that dope baseline, Jay, that was contested, I think, an and one earlier in the game. It was like an incredibly difficult shot. Duke led by 19 in the first half, 15 at halftime. UConn had no life other than Tarris Reed. You know, Boozer was a monster, and Caden was really good until the end. So all the credit goes to UConn for being mentally strong. Where's Rudy Tomjanovich? They showed the heart of a champion here. Is it shocking that a big-time team with championship DNA came back and won a game on a 35-footer? I just don't think that's shocking. I wasn't shocked. I was like, oh my God, just excited, but shocked. I wouldn't say that. And so Duke led almost the entire game. They played a good basketball game. UConn just chipped away. Guys, Dan Hurley in March Madness since 2023. I'm going to just start calling him the homie, okay? This guy is 17-1. 17-1. I want to let that sink in. Oh, by the way, B-Dot, 17-1 against the spread, too. Ooh, fireball. And the one loss, guys, 17-1, the one loss was against national champion Florida by 2 points. That's it. It's only loss. Okay. So I got a UConn comeback right here. I'm not, look, and I want to make a quick say, Caden Boozer, I love that young man. He's a stud. Took it on the chin. I let my team down and all this kind of stuff. Caden, I just want to put my arm around him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Coach Shire was calling for them to advance the ball. He advanced the ball. Okay, so whose fault really was that? And I'm not going to, it's not in the rundown. We're not really going to go down that road. It is what it is. It was a total breakdown by Duke, and UConn capitalized. Okay, let's get to the women's tournament. All right. And we will start here with Ashley, and then we'll go to Daylan, and then we will go to Katie. Or you can round table it and kind of do what you did last time. The ball will be in your
round table it.
You ladies do what you got to do. All right, you ladies do what you got to do. But give me each of you ladies, please give me your top takeaway from the women's tournament so far. Of course, yesterday UConn beat Notre Dame, UCLA beat Duke. Tough one for Dukies, right, on both sides. Great one for UConn on both sides. And tonight we have Michigan and Texas. We have TCU and South Carolina. Good luck beating Dawn Staley. in an Elite Eight game to TCU. But let's start with Ashley here. Your top takeaway from the women's tournament so far?
That no one can really beat UConn. I think that's pretty much it. I think they're going to go to the national championship. They're going to win it. But I would have liked to see UConn and South Carolina in the finals, and it's unfortunate they have to play the next round. But I would have liked to see them match up again in the finals. Kind of the same way I wanted to see Arizona and Michigan on the men's side match up in the finals, because I think they're the two best teams. That's how I feel about South Carolina and UConn. So I think next round is going to be really tough, but I am not counting out Sarah Strong, AZ Fudd. Even though she had an off shooting night, they have a lot of other players that can step up. So I'm confident in UConn. They're going to bring it back. That'll be Gino's 13th national title. I mean, does this man lose? Jesus. But yeah, I'm going with UConn all the way.
Honestly, what a game by Sarah Strong. Didn't she have like eight defensive stats yesterday, or 5 blocks, 3 steals, something like that? What a game she had. I mean, all right. Yeah. Let's now go to Daylan. Yeah, no doubt. Daylan Bonner. The question is, what's your number one takeaway from the women's tournament?
I think people are counting out UCLA. Like, we're forgetting they have Lauren Betts, who's 6'7". Like, let's really talk about it. Like, who is guarding that? Like, she's 6. Like, put this in perspective. Asia Wilson is 6'4". Lauren Betts is 6'7".
6'7".
She is dominating. She's dominating down low. They're throwing double teams. They just lob it right over layup every time.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't see a team beating that.
Yeah.
And like, Sarah Strong is so good. And UConn is, Gino knows what he's doing. But I want to see that matchup, UConn versus UCLA.
Honestly, I'm with this queen right here. That's crazy. You guys don't sleep on UCLA. Like, that's a veteran roster with senior starters and the Betts sisters in the forefront. But the bigger story to me and my takeaway is actually what Coach Gino is saying just about the tournament in general. Like, he's popping off right now about the tournament logistics, and I think we should pay attention to this. Like, there's only 2 regional sites, 6 a.m. shoot-arounds, brand new basketballs out the box. He's basically calling out the NCAA for treating the women's tournament like a junior version of the men's. So I think, like, we should kind of pay attention to this too. I think if everything holds, we might see number 1 seeds in the Final Four. Amazing basketball, but also slightly terrifying if you're anyone trying to stop Azzy Bud right now. So, I mean, that's my takeaway, but I do agree with Coach Gino just on the logistics of it all. Like, yo, can we schedule the press conferences at like more opportune times as well? Like, look at just what's going on just logistically for the women.
And the same thing happened in the conference tournaments when they were complaining about those LED floors. And they didn't make any changes till the men started complaining. And it's like, why are women always an afterthought? And I don't want to go down this whole rabbit hole of like, oh, women this, women that.
No, it's women's month, women's day.
No,
Girl,
talk your I don't go down that rabbit hole.
Yes.
I will, but I feel like in all categories, women are always an afterthought. I mean, you even take a look at research and studies. They're always on men. There's never like research and studies on women when it comes to injuries, when it comes to so many other things. I mean, again, I don't have all the time in the world to go down this rabbit hole, but
it's a lot.
I do think that they don't take the women's game seriously at times.
Yeah.
And I don't think women who are preparing for this their entire lives and for the entire year, and they're playing a certain way. They have a routine. They're used to things being a certain way. And then you don't even ask the coaches or the players, like, is this okay? Does this work? Is this what you guys have been doing all season? I think men are definitely treated differently in this space. And I think the more of us need to be speaking out on this, because I don't even think this was really talked about in mainstream media enough.
Yeah.
100%. Like 2 regional sites instead of 4. Like since 2023, the women's tournament has used this super regional format.
Yeah.
And like, why are we shrinking the tournament footprint right now? And I think like, it's just crazy. Some practices are happening like off site, like they're schlepping to different areas. Like, let's just like button that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just my rant on the logistics of it all.
No, I love it. I can just offer my theory on that, ladies. And it is, there's no sarcasm here, but there's a lot of like edginess. Okay. The NCAA sucks. It's horribly, horribly run. Okay, on the men's side and the women's side. Rick Pitino was complaining about how they structure their press conferences over there, and clearly the men's game is treated differently than the women's game. But what this is, it's a sign of the NCAA is very, very slow and archaic and old school, and they don't want to change, right? And so they're late to the girl power movement. They are, okay? The WNBA, the big win that they just got in the CBA negotiations, right? It's the biggest win for women in the history of sports, okay? And so that is going to lead to other great stuff for women and eyes opening, doors opening, red carpets rolled out. But it's not going to happen right away, right? Especially in the slow moving NCAA. So I believe over time that stuff will be fixed. But the NCAA is a glacier. Okay. And I'm not like supporting it. I'm just saying that is what it is. And it is what it is that needs to be changed quicker rather than later. But I love those takeaways. B-Doc, give me a takeaway from the women's tournament so far.
Oh man, just the dominance of Gino and UConn. They've been someone to sustain that type of dominance for over 20 years. And we still see today that he's still able to get a great group of girls to play at a high level, especially in this NIL. It's NIL day. You see a lot of the old coaches have phased out because of the NIL. To recruit the players they want to recruit because either they don't have the budget or somebody else offering more money. So I just want to take my hats off to Gino and an organization and that group of girls that that come to play every night. They are a great team, and like they said, UCLA, we cannot sleep on those. We can't sleep on those girls. Like those two teams, I think, are the best two teams in the tournament, and it's not just about just one player. Similar to Michigan and Arizona on the men's side, that team basketball is going to win you that national championship, and I'm looking forward to this women's national championship, and this Final Four is going to be amazing. And I want to shout out Notre Dame and Hannah. I don't know how to say her last name. Hidalgo. She's a straight dog, straight pit bull.
She's like that.
Someone that averaged 8 steals. You know how hard that is?
Crazy.
At any level. And for her to be the size she is, to dominate triple-double, I want to give my props off to her. Take my hat off, I would, but I don't have no haircut. My braids are fresh, though. But I don't want the forehead to miss all the cameras y'all got up. There's a lot of Vaseline on that thing. But I want to take my hat off to Hannah, give my props, give my flowers to her because she is next level. And just shout out overall to the women's basketball and the NCAA tournament that they're having right now. And I love it. I love it. It's exciting. And the men, they need to catch up, man. This 20-minute halves, man, come on, man. Go to quarters. Let's go to quarters. 10-minute quarters. Yeah. Let's like I know Rick said is like Jurassic dinosaur. They take so long to catch up with the times. But come on now, let's go to 4 quarters, especially preparing these guys for the NBA. Let's take something out of the women's game, give them some appreciation, and bring over to the men's. And that's exactly what I feel.
I have one question for the ladies. Do you think that TCU?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Can TCU upset South Carolina tonight?
I mean, Olivia Miles, she got her goggles on.
Yeah,
and she be going.
2020.
It's crazy because we saw the upset yesterday. You see more of the upsets with the men's, but I don't know. The Horned Frogs, y'all, can they do it?
I like South Carolina. I think they have more versatility. And they're bigger. They'd
have to have an off shooting night completely.
Yeah, they would have to have such an off night.
And I don't think they will. This is South Carolina we're talking about.
Yeah.
Donna put on a jersey and some shoes, and she'll go out there and play before losing to TCU.
Yeah.
Not against TCU, but that's just that mentality Don got.
Yeah, that's true.
This is Dawn Staley we're talking about. Pack a lunch, okay? Good luck. I'm here for it. I'm here for an underdog and an upset and all that, but I'm also here for Dawn Staley. I like the tough stuff. 24/7 from Dawn Staley. All right, Dr. X, let's go here, my friend. Take away from the women's tournament so far.
I know we're going to be discussing this probably later, but just the appreciation of being able to go to an institution, like a GOAT institution like this. I was in medical school from 2002 to 2006, and the guys and the girls won that same year, UConn 2004. That was Ben Gordon, Emeka Okafor, Diana Taurasi. That was the year both girls and guys won. And then I think that's the first time that was ever done. But it was pretty much easy because the girls were pretty much winning every year. So it was just up to the guys to just like win once in a while. And that would happen. I think it happened again. I think when Kemba Walker won that year in 2010. You could check me on that. But just the institution that I pick and chose me as well, that, for them to be able to do that on both programs, and then how great Gino is and how great he's been for so long. And then to see what Dan Hurley's been able to do over a long period of time. But to see, just going back to all of that, I just feel like UConn has been dominant. That's what I've gotten from this, and I'm glad to see all the other teams that are coming up into this. But as a woman in sports, they should be like motivated. Like literally, when they graduate, if they're headed to the WNBA, the minimum salary they're going to get right now is 300,000, and that's great. I mean, it could be better, but that's great compared to what it was before. And it's almost like, when we left medical school, residents were like what WNBA players were making back then. It was like 40, 48, 60K. This was back in 2002, or 2006. And then you would jump the minute you finish all your training, all your residency. But now, literally straight out of college, some of these ladies that are making noise right now in this tournament, they're setting their life up. So it's not just games on the line. It's like a lifestyle, it's a livelihood, it's your family. You're playing for your family right now on the line. It's literally right there, carrots dangling right in front of their face as they're playing. So I'm just really happy for everybody that has that opportunity right now, and just hoping that even if they don't win, at least they have a good showing and they can just really prove how much they're worth in this sport.
It's a great point, Doc, because with NIL, that's on both sides. So professional hoops now starts at the college level, right? Once you leave the AAU in high school, it's pro ball, essentially, with some archaic rules. Dwight Walton. Speaking of archaic rules, I only say that, Dwight, because you're a rep. I only say that because you're a rep. That's it. No age reference. Okay, I got a lot of gray up here too. All right, Mr. Dwight Walton, number one takeaway from the women's tournament, and you, my friend, are not on the clock.
Well, B-Dot sort of stole my thunder, because it's exactly what I wanted to say. Besides the obvious dominance of the UConn women and Gino Auriemma, his records, his numbers, his statistics speak for themselves. I think the biggest takeaway for me was the play of Notre Dame's Hannah Hidalgo. She was the story of this tournament. The statistics, the numbers she's been putting up to bring a team to the Sweet 16 that had the roster turnover that they had last season. I believe they had 3 players returning from last year's roster, which includes Montreal's Cassandra Prosper, to put that team on her shoulder and to bring them to where they were. And then for the praise that Gino Auriemma had for her during his post-game press conference yesterday, calling her the best point guard in the country. Also, he asked Hannah if she had any more years left for eligibility in college basketball. She said she's coming back next year because she wants to defeat Gino and UConn next season. So for me, that's the biggest takeaway. Hannah Gastaldo's performance in this tournament, but it also speaks to the star power across the college ranks in returns to players like Hidalgo, Sarah Strong, AZ Fudd, Lauren Betts, Olivia Miles, Madison Booker, Joyce Edwards. The list goes on and on in terms of these players. The collegiate game for the women is just been fantastic, and there's no better way for now. There's a better opportunity for these players to go into the WNBA with the new collective bargaining agreement, the amount of money that's waiting for these stars in women's college basketball. It's great to see. I'm happy for them. College basketball on both the men's and women's sides are in a great place. NIL's taking over, just talent across the board. But I'm really, really impressed with the talent landscape of women's college basketball as they go into the pros themselves.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I will, I guess, piggyback on a lot of what you guys are saying. No one's beaten UConn, in my opinion. They just have that look this year. They're 38-0. They're 38-0.
Crazy.
And
What? Okay, they're 4-0 in the tournament. Check this out. They beat Notre Dame, a quality team, by 18. They beat North Carolina by 21. They beat Syracuse by 53. They beat UTSA by 38. They're winning by an average of 32.5 points per game. What? Okay, the Dream Team. You guys remember the Dream Team back in 1992? Right around the time that most of you people out in LA right now were being born and hatched, okay? The Dream Team back in 1992. They averaged 43.8 points per game. 43.8. Gino and UConn, and they're not playing, what did Barkley say? Angola, or whatever, these sort of small teams or whatever. This is the NCAA tournament, and they're cranking people by 32.5 points per game. It's unbelievable. Gino Auriemma is the John Wooden of the women's game. His dynasty is mind-boggling. Guys, 25 Final Fours. What? That doesn't even make sense. 25 Final Fours, including 14 straight at one point. Doc knows all about that. 12 natties. By the way, the Mount Rushmore of women's basketball, okay, which is hard with Cheryl Miller and Nancy Lieberman and all these greats, right? Cynthia Cooper, and then, you go on to sort of the more contemporary players, right? You could make an argument that the Mount Rushmore of women's basketball all went through UConn. Okay, Breanna Stewart might be the GOAT. She is definitely on the Mount Rushmore, for sure. Diana Taurasi, definitely on the Mount Rushmore, okay? And then, Lisa Leslie and Brittany Grant, so those two ladies to me are on it, Stewie and DT. Sue Bird, Maya Moore, hello, okay? That could be your Mount Rushmore right there. And you're not going to get a lot of argument on that. And then you have Nafisa Collier, you have Paige Beckers, you have AZ Fudd coming out. Strong is going to be coming out, not this year, but I think next or the year after that. It's probably the greatest dynasty in sports history. I said probably because, I don't want to just crank the flag right on top of that mountain. But I mean, it's 12 chips and 25 Final Fours. That's more than Wooden did at UCLA. That's more than Auerbach and the Celtics did. They won 11, right? You have Phil Jackson and I think 11 titles, 3 3-peats or whatever that is. Phenomenal stuff. That's two different teams. Okay, this is Gino on one squad. It's just absolutely incredible, man. And I'm a historian and I love history like this. And we're witnessing it right now. Let's go to the NBA. We're all getting promoted around here, all right? B-Dot, you're getting the Gatorade call-up on a 10-day, all right, to the Utah Jazz, okay, because they're tired of Elijah Harkless, okay? So you're going to be their starting point guard here as they tank down the stretch. All right, best option to stop tanking. Now, guys and girls, okay, this is going to get complicated, and I apologize for that. It is not my fault. It is the tankers of the NBA's fault. If you want to get mad because you have to actually think right now, all of us, by the way, then don't blame me, okay? Blame the tankers. Okay, so last Wednesday at the Board of Governors meeting, the NBA presented, according to Shams Charania, 3 comprehensive anti-tanking concepts that are expected to be under a formal vote in May. And Shams said that modifications are expected to even what I'm about to read you. Okay. Option number 1. 18 teams in the draft lottery. Okay. 14 up to 18. Seeds 7 through 15 in each conference. Flattened odds. The bottom 10 teams have an 8% chance. The remaining 20% of the odds are distributed in decreasing order from 11 to 18. Okay. So there's a lottery drawing for 18 picks instead of 14. But again, the bottom 10 teams have an 8% chance flat. There's no movement on that. And then the other 8 teams are going to split up the 20%, and they're going to be at like 3.2%, 1.8%, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Option number 2 is I take a swig of Diet Mountain Dew. Oh, it's so tasty.
Diet.
22 teams in the lottery. 22 teams in the lottery. This is where it gets really confusing. Please try to stay with me. I have no idea what I'm about to read. Okay, 22 teams in the lottery using their 2-year record, seeds 7 through 15, plus the 4 playoff first-round exits in both conferences. Are you with me? I know you're not. I'm not either. Lottery teams would reach a minimum win total floor in each season, such as 25 wins. If a team falls short of the floor, it gets slotted to meet the floor. You already lost me, Adam. Top 4 drawn as part of the lottery, as is currently. I have no idea what I just read, and I'm not reading it again. Option number 3, 18 teams in a 5x5 lottery. You just lost me. Bottom 5 teams have equal odds for the top pick, with lottery formed for picks 1 through 5. I have no idea where we're going here. Bottom 5 teams have a floor at 10. Huh? Those that fall out of the top 5 get sorted in a separate drawing. What? Dude, this is harder than calculus in college. Are you serious right now? Okay. I mean, my God, it's unbelievable, this thing. So I want to switch up the order here a little bit. I want to go to Dr. X first. Dr. X, what do you think is the best of these 3 options to potentially cure tanking?
Yeah, well, I think first off, they're trying to bog us down with all the details, so we get lost in the weeds and we just give up, right? So
Good point.
I think honestly, the only way you'll know if it works is if people start doing the stupid shenanigans they've been doing this year, which is, the obvious stuff. Like once they started getting obvious with it, it started becoming disrespectful to fans. When you sit a whole starting 5 out at the beginning of the 4th quarter and you're up by 10 and then just to lose, that's what the Jazz did. That's when they weren't even trying to be discreet about it. So I would say what really needs to be done is, like you were saying, Rick, earlier, the tanking police. They have to have some doctors that go in there and see if these guys are really injured. And they did that this year. They were on the fly trying to make sure that players are playing, like Zubac for Indiana Pacers is playing. I think they got Trae Young to play this year. So that's one thing, but it's how you penalize them. They got to start taking away picks. Like literally, you have to be like a strong parent here. I'm not a parent myself, but I just feel like you have to have those rules. I knew that helped me as a kid. There has to be actual consequences. So if they get flagged for breaking the rules, which there should be some strict rules, then it should be flag 1, flag 2, and then your pick is gone. And honestly, just to make sure, because you could kind of drag that out, I would say after your first flag, the next time you flag out is your pick is gone. So two strikes and you're out.
I like it. I love that, Doc. I do. All right, Dwight, you are next, my friend. I did my best to explain the options. I know you've read them on your own time and done some thinking about this. So option 1, 2, or 3, which one would you pick?
I think the best option involves number 1, where the 14 lottery picks are all flattened out. They have the same odds of getting the number 1 pick. But I would take it a step further. Have all 18 teams, the play-in teams, involved in the draft process, so it incentivizes winning. As you guys have heard me say on prior shows, I would go a step further. I would have the team with the worst record automatically get the number 1 pick. So if the Utah Jazz really want AJ Dybantsa to stay in the state of Utah, go out and earn and win all the games if you want to get AJ Dybantsa. So I think my idea is in the same realm. Just have all the teams that don't make the playoffs, even the play-in teams. So that right now the lottery is at 14. Have all 18 teams have the same odds of getting the number 1 pick, so that incentivizes winning. Because if you're just going to go out and lose, it's hurting your chances anyway. So incentivize winning, involve all 18 teams that don't make the playoffs. That includes the 4 play-in teams in each conference.
It's completely. And sorry to jump in, Rick, but may I jump in?
Rick is on mute. Rick, you're on mute.
Yeah.
My bad. We got ready. My bad. We got Reggie Theus in the green room. So anyway, yes, please go ahead.
I love that, Dwight. And actually, I was thinking about this last night and looking at the 3 different options. I would pick neither of them. Like, can we just incentivize the winning here? Like, it's almost like you're playing video games against a kid and you're trying to lose. Then you look over and you're like, oh, damn, the adult's trying to lose. Like, it's so sad. I feel like, why don't we just give the number 1 draft pick to the person who just almost made the playoffs? And then, like, the next person who made the playoffs, just give it to them. That could solve it. Tanking. Do that, Adam Silver. I don't know.
I don't like number 1 either, though, because so you have those 10 teams that have the same odds, but the 18 teams all have a chance. It's like, you're telling me that the Washington Wizards might get the 18th pick in the draft? Like, they need help, y'all.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
There's just no way that this could be an option. Like,
yes.
And hear me out on this too. I think a lot of these teams that are tanking, it doesn't even matter if they get the number 1 or 2 pick because they're still going to suck.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the right, like, so for example, OKC, I feel like they know how to recruit, draft, trade for the right players because they actually have a good front office who knows what they're doing. They know how to develop guys. They know how to fit them in their system. So when you're looking at some of these other teams like a Utah Jazz, okay, like they actually have good players right now. Like I feel like they actually, if they were tried, they can actually compete right now. But now they're like, we want to tank for the number 1 seed, so or the number 1 draft pick. But even just looking at some of these teams over and over again, even when they do get the number 1 pick and they still suck year after year, it's the same team. So yeah, I do think we need to incentivize winning. As opposed to losing, but I still think these teams are going to be losers anyways, regardless. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but some of these teams just don't have a good front office.
But you know what though, Ashley? And if I can jump in here, it's
yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but and again, we can give props to RC Buford of the Spurs and Sam Presti of the Thunder as much as we want because they deserve it. But it also helps that they struck gold by acquiring Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and having the opportunity to draft Victor Wembanyama. I'm not so sure if their tanking. I'm not so sure if their tanking process is as successful if they don't get those 2 players. Again, I understand the record that those 2 general managers have. They've been fantastic. They are the standard in the NBA. But they also got lucky when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander becomes the player that he is now. And then we have possibly the most unique player in NBA history in Victor Wembanyama, who's possibly going to lead the Spurs to an NBA championship this season for a team that has close to no playoff experience. So while I hear what you're saying, the Thunder and the Spurs also got very lucky as far as I'm concerned.
Well, are we also going to take a look at Adam Silver and the NBA's history of doing some shady things behind the scenes to also get some of these guys going number 1 in the draft? I mean, I talked to Shaquille O'Neal last year, and David Stern said to him, do you want to play somewhere hot or somewhere cold? And he gets drafted to Orlando. We see Luka randomly getting traded last year to the Lakers, like came out of nowhere, and then suddenly Dallas gets the number 1 pick. So you just take a look each year, no matter what Adam Silver tries to do, he needs to take a look in the mirror and understand that he could be the problem too, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
So true.
So yeah, you could try to fix anything you want, but there's some stuff going on behind the scenes, and we know it, that is a little shady to me. So I don't know if I fully trust anything he does at this point. All these different things to overcomplicate everything. Even take a look at the All-Star game. I mean, that's been a flop. We're trying to just make all these changes. So I think he needs to take a long look in the mirror and really reevaluate what he's doing.
But also, like, going back to the tanking, like, I'm just really thinking them through. Like, the third option of, like, the bottom 5 being evenly distributed and getting to have an option at the lottery, it's like, now I want to be in the bottom 5. Right. Because I get the number 1 pick. I get a chance at the number 1 pick. How does that stop tanking?
I don't think it does. It overcomplicates it.
So here, listen. We know what the NBA is doing here. They put they leaked these 3 things out to have shows like ours and the fans across social media discuss it so they can get the tenor of what, or hear the backlash of what each three solutions are going to have. And then they're going to come up with something on their own by May. And it's going to be something to where we can all agree. They put these three things out here so they can let us discuss it. But trust me, I think they already have their solution in place. They just want to see where these three things land amongst us that have opinions about it.
Yeah, Adam is as aware as any commissioner has ever been. I mean, Roger Goodell has his head in the sand. You know, David Stern was just a heavy-handed, I'm going to do it my way, and y'all are going to have to rock with it. Adam, so this is a litmus test. That's all it is. You guys are absolutely right. And they will tweak this, and they will come up with something that hopefully combats tanking. We have a very special guest right now. He is a dear friend of the show here on the X-Rated Sports Network, Beyond the Surface. He is former All-Star Reggie Theus, currently the athletic director and the head men's basketball coach of Bethune-Cookman, who just had a sensational season under Coach Theus's watch. Coach Theus, welcome back to Beyond the Surface. How are you, man?
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Coach, can you hear us?
We can't hear him.
Mute? Is he on mute? Unmute him.
Coach, do we have you?
Microphone check. Nah.
So guys, Bethune-Cookman won
Not
the
anymore.
SWAC
I'm here.
regular season.
He's here.
We have
Yeah.
Coach, do we have you?
Check.
Coach,
Are you guys there?
Coach, do we have you?
Great. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, we appreciate you, man. Congrats on the success. So you know the crew. It is Rick Hamlet. Lower left, it is Dr. X. Upper right, it is Dwight Walton. And out in our LA studios, we have from right to left, Katie Felber, Daylan Bonner, Ashley Nevel, and we have Brandon Armstrong as well, a.k.a. B-Dot. Can Reggie hear us? Awkward. All right.
Well, till we get Reggie back, I'm about to go. I'm option 4 for tank.
Option 4.
Okay.
Option 4. So them bottom 14, 18 teams with the playing teams, once they're ineligible for the playoffs, now we start our own league. Whoever has the most wins by the end of the season, get those top 10 picks.
It's a lot.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
Yeah, so like you got
losers bracket.
No, but I'm not talking about like separated. You play your regular seasons, but now we're counting your wins. So whoever has the most wins by they're ineligible for playoffs. So those 14 teams, including the play-in teams, we're not counting those play-in games when they make that play-in. But whoever wins the team, let's say from just throwing dates out there, let's say from March 1st till the end of the year. Out of those teams, those losing teams, whoever has the most wins, that's how we rank them.
That's actually
you get this top. The Washington Wizards. Okay, yeah, you sucked all year, but you done won the last 22 out of 25 games.
So you're saying out of all the 18 teams.
But I'm talking about all the bottom teams that's not even eligible. That's not eligible for the playoffs. So whatever teams, I don't know if the 14. I don't know. I'm just saying whatever team's not eligible for the playoffs. Those are the teams. Now we have a wins loss. We have a win bracket. We have a wins bracket. We have a loss bracket. Whoever has the most wins by the end of the year.
So you're looking at 11 to 15.
There you go.
11 to 15 seeds, and then some of the play-ins, you want to factor those in from the losers of the play-in. So you want 9 and 10 in there too, or do you want the winners?
Not the losers, just the losers.
So the losers. So you're looking at
But how would you know? You don't know the losers of the play-in until the end of the year.
But I'm talking about in terms of the bottom. Yeah, whoever loses. Yeah, I mean when they lose the play-in, then how many wins do they have before the play-in is what I'm saying.
But do you feel that like people in the play-in, say I'm a 7 seed, right? I lose 2 games, right? Because 7 seed gets 2 tries.
My bad. Forget 7 to 8. I'm talking about 9 and 10.
9, 10, 11, 12.
9, 10, 11, 12. 7 to 8, we going back to old time. The top 8 seeds, those are already are safe.
Okay.
Whatever picks they get is what picks they get. That bottom 9 through all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't tank because we're going on as many games you're winning until the end of the season. So like I said, the Washington Wizards end up winning 22 out of 25 games.
Mm-hmm.
They get the number 1 pick.
That's my idea, Don. That's me. That's what I said. Yeah.
Right.
The only reason I don't like that idea, though,
is going to win more games than a 15 seed, though.
It's competition.
Exactly.
You got to play now. You never know that. Teams crash towards the end of the year. You feel me?
Interesting.
I think that is a combo of what Dwight was saying and what I was trying to say.
That's why I agree with like we playing. And if we don't want to include that 9 and 10 seed, okay, well let's include that 11 through whoever.
15.
Yeah, 11 through whoever. Now they got to play. You have to play.
It's like I said, Don.
You get rewarded.
Don, it's pretty clear that Utah wants to keep AJ DeBansa in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you tell Utah that, listen, if we have the best, quote unquote, worst record and we get the automatic number 1 pick, trust me, Jaren Jackson Jr. wouldn't have been having surgery. Walker Kessler would be playing. Lauri Markkanen would be playing. Isaiah Collier would be playing. Keontae George would be playing. Trust me, they'd be out there hooping, trying to get that pick. Believe me.
Because that Utah Jazz talent, the talent they have, like the names you just said, and now Ben, I can't pronounce his last name, Ben Salzberg, he just had 36 the other night. He's averaging 24 since the
sensible.
Isaiah Collier, he averaged the most assists off the bench. Off the bench, he had 22. He had 20 assists one game. Like this team, talent wise, is very good with Jaren Jackson. They're sitting there tanking. Like, nah, f that, bro. You want to tank? All right, now you got pick 22.
Yeah,
you feel me? Like now you're not in the lottery. You know, of course they're gonna get picked 22, but now you're not in the lottery. Now you just mess up your chances because of.
Do you think?
Tanking. So however they can structure that, you feel me? But I understand exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. They got to figure out.
You think Trae Young and Anthony Davis? You think Trae Young and Anthony Davis wouldn't be playing? Come on now.
With the Washington Wizards,
they would.
Like what? Like but I understand your take on that 9 and 10 seed because they're already the better seed. You feel me? They're already the better team.
Yeah.
And of course, the Warriors are going to have more wins
than
the Washington Wizards.
The Brooklyn Nets.
So So if it's a way to structure that to have the worst teams, with however many games they're under 500, have them play, and you have to win. In order to win, you're playing for these draft picks. You're playing for these draft picks because, like Ashley said, ain't no way the Dallas Mavericks should have got a number 1 pick, but we know, we know
politics.
We know, we know why.
Doc, did you have something to add to this?
Well, I was just saying, I think if you're incentivizing winning, the issue is you're always going to find a loophole. So I get what you guys are trying to say, but there are teams that are just that bad. And so I guess if you want to incentivize them for next year or the year before, you have to do something better. Yeah, I agree with you, Daylan, that if you want to incentivize them and you want to like get a better team to be the best worst team, great. But ultimately you have to. The reason why they have draft picks like that and they do the snake order is not necessarily to reward, but to make sure the competitive balance stays. You have a chance to get better coming from the bottom, especially if you're a new team that is going to be an expansion team. You can't just expect them to be the best worst team. They're going to be at the bottom for a long time.
But you got to play your best players. Like on any given day, you can lose. Like the Indiana Pacers just lost to the Clippers by 1, and this is Kawhi Leonard. This is
I agree with that point. And there was that list that they sent to the group chat. There was some other options too. There were like 6 options, but one of the options was if your team made it to the finals of the conference last year, they were saying that you wouldn't even be eligible to be in that that top 10 or whatever. So like for instance, the perfect example is the Pacers. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's not even listed, but the Pacers last year made it to the NBA Finals, right? So just because they lost Tyrese Halliburton, don't think that you can tank now and fool everybody. Because you were so good last year, you actually have no chance. No, I know that. I know that. There was. I know, but last year, I mean, one of the options was saying that even if you were that good last year, it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. You could have injured your whole starting 5, like for real, all ACL tears. It wouldn't matter. You wouldn't be up to get that pick because ultimately you are going to recover from an ACL injury, and you're still going to have all those great players. So I like that rule as well. So I think it should be a combination of everything as much as possible. But I think they have to give some real penalties. If you see someone is found a loophole, like literally take the draft pick away. So it will discourage them from doing that.
Yeah, because finding them not gonna do much. They make so much money, bro. You gotta take draft picks away. You gotta hit them where it hurts.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are we against option 2? Like, I feel like when you really break it down and think about it, it kind of has like both like your side, but it also has like our side where like, you know, like if you are the worst team, you do have still a good chance because they take those 22 teams, which is a lot of teams it's out of 30. So they take the 22 teams and it's evenly like, you know, picked out of hat, whatever, for the top 4 picks. So now it's like, why am I tanking if we're evenly?
Right, yeah. See, you
anybody
explained it to me better. I understand none of what Rick was saying.
Why would we tank if anybody can get these top 4 picks in any of these 22 teams? At the same time, they take your 2-year record and they rank you guys from worst, you know, to best, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, we pick from there. So now it's like, if you are a really bad team, at least you get
perfect.
Right. Okay.
So,
I see what you. Okay.
So it's
you should break down more things, Daylan. That was very clear.
Yeah. Right. That was breakdown. You feel me? Like what?
Yeah. So
Rick, you gotta let her explain the rules from now on.
Aren't gonna be the lowest because it's a 2-year thing, and their record last year was so high. So even though their record
there you go. That
this
was
year's pretty bad, they're gonna be towards the middle. While a team that's been bad for like 2 years, like Manets or, you know, like someone else, they're going to have a higher seed. So it makes it more fair for the lower teams. But also it's like, we're not going to tank because we can't get Devonsa. We can't get Cameron Boozer because it's random through the 22 teams.
Nah, I like to see. Yeah, you explained it. Yeah, like I said, I didn't understand. None what was. Yeah,
they overcomplicated everything with the rule. I think you need to go and rewrite it all.
Yeah, I have a question, Rick. Daylan, where are you? I saw you wore a Duke University jersey. Was that just for fun, or you have some ties to Duke?
Oh, that was for a commercial. But
Nice.
I went to Syracuse University, and then you saw they got smacked by UConn pretty bad.
Oh, okay. That's how you know.
I like Syracuse.
Yeah,
Syracuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Daylan, to that point.
Daylan's getting shouted out, by the way. The people are loving Daylan, man. They're shouting you out. Go ahead, Dwight.
After UConn, after they played UConn for what seems like every year, how do you feel about your coach's post-game press conference in regards to them having to go through UConn almost every season in the NCAA tournament?
Like, how is that fair? So, like, every year they work so hard to make this tournament, and they make it, and they're always on UConn's side every single year. And I felt so bad for that coach because the one year, like, she coached Buffalo and got Buffalo in the tournament, they're on UConn's side. It's like every year she runs into UConn. It's like, why are you doing them this dirty? They worked so hard to make it to this tournament, and you just make them play UConn, and it's like, they have no chance.
That's crazy.
Like, at least move it around.
So here's my.
I still think they would have lost to the other ones.
But at least give them a chance.
I agree. But when you take a look at the other sides of the bracket and you see the discrepancy and those points, I was like,
who wants to play UConn every year in the tournament?
It's like, you get tired of getting beat up by your ex every time. You know? It's like, let me get beat up by somebody new.
So here's my question. So now when they do the tournament selection on the women's side, is it more about logistics or is it more about fan bases that travel? Can they travel to a closer destination? Is that because I think that's what's happening in regards to this coach being at Syracuse and at Buffalo. That's the unfortunate part about this. I think because the first couple of rounds are hosted at home. I think because of that, this is where that coach gets into problems. And because of her proximity to UConn, she feels like she's being picked on but that's also what the selection committee, I think, in terms of finances, may be doing this in terms of logistics.
I really think you hit it just on the nose. Like, for women, like all the top seeds get a home game, and it's like, oh, Syracuse is already on the East Coast, so we're gonna throw them on that side. It's just easier. It's less money for us. Like, let's just throw them that every year since 2017. It's like, wow, we're really gonna throw them that way every single year. Like, why wouldn't they switch it up?
And it sucks to say, but I think, man, F it, you got to penalize UConn. I think they fan base is gonna travel wherever they go. You feel me? You can't keep putting them. Man, they got 12. They got 12 of them things. You feel me? Like, and I know you got an award winner, but god dang, like you said, since 2000, like that's OD.
Same team.
Like, man, put UConn somewhere in the middle somewhere, man. Let them in the Midwest, man. Like them UConnians, them Huskies, them dire wolves, they gonna travel over there, man. But you getting beat up by Debo every year, that's OD. That's OD. We got Reggie Ed.
So we're trust me, we're working on it over here. All right.
Have you guys asked him to use his phone? Just tell him to use his phone, because I'm sure he has some AirPods. I think the issue is we couldn't hear him, and maybe he's going through his laptop and he doesn't know how to turn the mic on or something. But if he goes through his phone and just put some AirPods, it might be a better fit.
I did want to ask a question. If we
there we
go. There he is.
Oh, there he is. Okay, we can ask the question later.
Coach Theus, what's up, man? You are back on.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, we
there you go. There you go.
New location.
Yeah,
Reggie.
Listen, I'm getting all that heat over there about old guy can't work the computer. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, well, Coach, we're so happy to have you, man.
Get him, Ray.
Yeah, so head coach and athletic director of Bethune-Cookman. They had a banner year. They won the SWAC regular season championship. Reggie Theus won coach of the year. Come on, baby. Come on. Congrats, coach, man. What was the key to your success this year?
You know, when it's all said and done, it's always about players. It's always about players and your staff. When you have a good staff, when you have good players, you know, you have to execute. You got to do all the things the right way. But you know, when you're in the portal situation, you're in this NIL world, it's about building culture quick and trying to build that culture when there's no culture, because you have no pullover. It's very difficult. So as we got to know each other, you know, we had our ups and downs. We had a hell of a non-conference schedule. That really helped because we were definitely playing a lot of teams. We went to Arizona, you know, we played at Auburn, we played at Missouri, we played all over the place, Oklahoma State, you know, all kinds of places. You have to dig your ditches, and you got to be in the trenches to actually build your team chemistry. And when you're in battles like that and you're fighting like that, that's how you really come together as a team. So we earned the right to be in the shot, be in the making for the conference championship. And we just pulled it off. You know, I had a couple of guys that really had great years, and you know, it was a battle. But the problem with what happened, though, you know, if you don't mind me saying, you know, what had happened is that what had happened is, you know, when you win the conference with 3 games to go, your last 3 games of the season, you got nothing to play for. And, you know, you need to be ramping up as you're going into conference tournament. And we were basically had plateaued because we had already won it. And that became a problem because I thought that it's hard to ramp down and then ramp back up. And I thought that had a lot to do with us not winning the conference tournament. And, of course, I was without one of my best players at that time also. That probably had a lot to do with it.
Oh, wow. But you got a banner. You got an award, and your program is thriving and on the way up, and we're super, super excited for you. So everybody, Reggie Theus, 13-year NBA pro, 2-time All-Star, averaged 18 and 6 for his career over all those 13 years. Actor, sports broadcaster. I mean, who could forget Hang Time? So Reggie, obviously, you know me, you know Dr. X, you know Dwight Walton. Out in LA right now in our beautiful posh studios, we have B-Dot, Brandon Armstrong, behind the desk, and because it's Women's History Month, and because these ladies are so talented, we've got 3 guest hosts today, Coach. So let's go right to left. That is Katie Felber on the right. In the middle, Daylan Bonner. And on the left, it is Ashley Nevel. And so now let's go around the table here a little bit. Dr. X, I don't know. Do you want to talk Knicks with Reggie Theus or UConn with Reggie Theus? Let's see where you go here.
I want to talk Bethune-Cookman University. So I also went to a HBCU for my undergrad, Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama. Just speak to how big Howard making it to the tournament, how that affected HBCUs overall, and how close are you guys to making it to the tournament? What do you think is the window for you guys to be there as well?
Well, listen, bottom line is that we won the conference, we won the regular season with 3 games to go. We clinched, so we're right there. The problem is that every year you got to start all over. So now I'm looking at my depth chart on the board over there, on the award board, and I got 1 player on the board. So we got to start all over. I think that the portal and HBCUs, the more that we get into how good HBCUs are and how good the conference is, I know the SWAC is a very competitive conference, very athletic. Coaching has been very good. And it really, except for last year, this past season, there's only been like a game or game and a half that separated the top to the middle of the conference. That's why it was so unusual for us to win the conference with 3 games to go. It was actually it hurt us in the long run. But I think that anytime you have an HBCU like Prairie View for us, we went to the tournament. They won a game in the tournament also, and they in the playing game. Then they got smashed by Florida. But the more we get in the tournament, the more that we are there, the more the competition, the more people get a chance to see that these are really good basketball teams. One of the things I think that really sucks though is I hate the rule that when you win your conference, when you win the regular season, you used to get an automatic NIT bid. I mean, that really hurts the lower tier of college sports in that sense, in basketball, because these teams are really good. Now we beat a playing game, right, in our conference. So to have a team that's in the bottom half of another conference, I don't necessarily think that that's fair. I think that if you win your conference, there should be something out there for you. When you win your regular season, there should be something out there for you.
I like it.
You're not going to get any pushback from us on that, Coach.
I agree
Dwight
with
Walton,
that.
Dwight Walton, play a little tennis with Coach Theus.
What's going on, Reg? Listen, now, so you just answered part of my question. As the athletic director and the head coach at an HBCU, with all the NIL money out there, college basketball, college sports in general, has basically become professional sports. How do you compete with the rest of the country in trying to get the best athletes to come to your school, not only in basketball, but across all the sports that you lead at Bethune-Cookman?
When you're able to spend $20 million a year on NIL, from the big boys, right? It's a very different thing. But with the portal, with NIL, if you got a little bit of something, you have a chance to get players that you might not be able to get otherwise. So for our level, we're going to be able to get players that are better than our conference because they're out there. Not everybody gets to go where they want to go. At some point or another, in the next few months, guys are going to be searching for places to go play basketball. And what they have to look at is a place like Bethune-Cookman where you're going to be coached the right way, you're going to be treated the right way, you're going to get the best opportunity to become the best player that you can become. The way you sell it is that you can come here, you can help us win, you can get your numbers up, because a lot of the schools that are paying big money are paying money off of your stats, off of your numbers. Come here, you average, you get good numbers, you win, you're in a good place. They don't want to go recruit junior college and high school kids. They'd rather come recruit our kids. So you come here and win, you have a chance to go make some real money someplace else. But it does take a little time.
So Reg, just one more question. So when you're recruiting, do you also pitch to the player that you could use Bethune-Cookman as a stepping stone to a bigger school because of the transfer portal, or do you stop it by saying you have your best chance of becoming the player that you want to be by staying at Bethune-Cookman?
Well, listen, there's a lot of greedy people out there, and the greedy people. Yeah, there's a lot of greedy people out there. The greedy people want to send them to the best school for the most money they can. But ultimately, you can go make money someplace else, but you may not play. The bottom, a lot of times at these larger schools, the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th guy on the roster is making $300,000.
Wow.
But they never play. Wow. So you just want to go someplace and make money, or you want to play? So you have to have guys have to be able to make a decision. And one of the problems that you have with all this is you have 20-year-olds and you want them to make 50-year-old decisions. And it doesn't really work that way. And then you have the greedy people that they're dealing with, that just they're making dollars, they're making money off these kids. So they're just basically selling the kids for the highest bidder. But when you're talking about a kid's career, you have to go someplace where you're going to play. Unless college is your only thing. If you don't want to play past college, that's one thing. But if you have aspirations to play on, you have to go someplace where you're going to play. And that's why coming to Bethune-Cookman is a positive, because you're going to play here. You're going to have an effect on the conference. And then after you win here and have an effect on the conference, now you can go someplace and make some real dollars. Now you can come from here. Now you have film. Now you have all the things you need. There are 100 countries that you can play in around the world if you want to play professionally somewhere. But you're not going to play somewhere professionally if you're someplace sitting on the bench and never playing.
Man, Reggie, it is so good to have you back. All right, so let's go to LA and let's bring the ladies in here. Let's start with Katie.
By the way, the ladies were holding it down, Cam. They were running the show.
I know.
I was listening to a lot of your show, and those ladies were running the show. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I love it.
No question.
Strong work, ladies.
Appreciate it.
Katie, go ahead.
Appreciate it. Oh, what are you asking me?
You got a question for Reggie?
Do I have a question for you?
Please ask Coach Theus a question if you have one. If not, pass the baton to Daylan.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I was thinking about the NIL and everything, and just it just feels like more chaotic than my current dating roster in LA. I feel like there's so many there's so many last minute changes that happen. It's like someone can switch up on you. Stay vigilant. Like you really don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. Any just advice for players? Actually, no, not players, coaches. I don't know. I don't know what my question is. I kind of just wanted to make that metaphor, to be honest.
Well,
just how to handle
That's a good one.
Players.
Actually, how as a coach can you handle the uncertainty of people switching up on you? I mean, me just as a single woman in LA, I know how to handle that. I can brace myself. But as a coach, what do you do? How do you deal with the uncertainty? He's like, I don't know how to handle that.
The loyalty of your players.
You really want to go there. You're still throwing stuff on the wall, and whatever sticks, it's still coming your way.
True, same.
When it comes to dating or it comes to recruiting, it's all kind of the same, right?
Yeah. Who sticks
around? Because it is.
Yeah.
It is in a lot of ways. It's a lot like the dating world when you think about it, because you are trying to attract players to come play for you, just like you're trying to attract, some lucky guy coming your way. And listen, the reality is there's strength in numbers. Remember that.
Wow, interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Restricted numbers. Is that body count or?
The more you not the more you got
the money. You gotta get the money.
You might have one guy.
I'm not going any further than that, guys.
Okay. I mean, that's okay. I like that a lot. I'm trying to manifest a rich doctor, so I'm going for money.
You gotta get that money for them boosters now, okay? You gotta have that NIL budget.
Okay.
In order to get that, you feel me? So
when you do, just remember that we need NIL money over here. So we need those donations.
Reggie's your biggest fan for sure. All right, Daylan, come on in here.
I feel like adding on to what you're saying, like UCLA men's. I'm sorry, I'm a huge UCLA fan, by the way, because my parents.
I'm from LA.
Goes there now. Yeah, I'm from LA. It's just a thing. And their coach Cronin had really talked about like he needs about $5 million more NIL, and he feels like he can really elevate his team. How do you convince people to play for your team with less money? I don't.
Again,
as a coach, I don't know how. Like
that is like dating too. You have to have a strong personality, I guess, and culture.
You already stated you're looking for a doctor, right? So
there
are
levels. Like an executive, just money.
But there are levels. What I'm saying is that Mick Cronin, I know Mick very well. Matter of fact, Mick was at, I'm from LA. So, and Mick was working for the University of Louisville when he took the Cincinnati job, and I took his place at the University of Louisville. So Mick and I are from the same tree when it comes to coaching. But when you think about what it takes to run a high major school, obviously we don't get $5 million over here, and it's much more lower budget university when it comes to NIL. It's just like anything else that my wife always tells me that, listen, the more money, the more problems, and it certainly is something that happens when you think about universities and their NIL budget, because not only do they have, 20 million, all the teams on that level have $20 million. Right. So now money is not really the issue. There are a lot of other things that come involved in also that too. And that's relationship building. And because all the schools that
sense of humor.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I love it. Let's keep this rolling here. Let's go to Ashley. Ashley, do you have a question for Coach Theus?
I have two questions. One is a very quick question, and then I'll get to the second one. Okay, number one, we saw how Rick Pitino acted at that game-winning shot, and he just walked off the court, and then you see a completely different reaction in Dan Hurley when his player hit essentially the game-winning shot. Which coach are you, and do you have a problem with either one of those reactions?
Ooh, nice.
Well, you're looking at a guy who's been there before. You're looking at a guy who's Italian and New York cool in Coach Pitino, and then you're looking at another guy who is fiery and really about himself and about his program. And by the way, if you saw that game and you weren't caught up in what was going on, then you're not alive. You're over there. You're over there in Tatacana. But I think that when you watch how it was unfolding, I was sitting in my chair going, "Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all." As that 19-point deficit was going down, I could see that one team was starting to play better and the other team was starting to fold. And at the end, when you are a point guard, you basically want the ball in your hand. But at the same time, all he was trying to do is not let them foul him. And he was trying to throw the ball down court, which I get. But the worst pass there is when a team is pressing is over the top. You have to pump, fake high, throw low, fake high. You throwing it over top. Everybody's hands are up when they're pressing. So it was an awful moment for Duke. But, again, what a heads-up play. That culture that they have at UConn, Coach Hurley, who is, when you deal with him, you have to deal with that on a lot of different levels because he's bringing the fire no matter what. And that the court awareness to not take a bad shot and to flip it to your teammate and trust your teammate when you're the best player on the floor is pretty damn amazing.
That's the best part of it. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I'm still feeling the remnants of something like that happening when you're a coach and you know that can happen to anybody. We've all been on the other side of that when the truck starts rolling downhill and you cannot stop it, But on that level, that usually happens when one team is better than the other. But on that level, when those teams are that close and that good, man, to lose a 19-point lead on that level is pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, that was really tough, and there was a lot of different. I would say difference makers in that game, and in the second half, turnovers were a huge problem for Duke, and they capitalized on that. But my second question was, and I don't think a lot of people are paying.
Let me go back just for 1 second to give you a sense of what's going on here. Now, back in the day when my young coaching career was going on, right? Because I'm an old guy now, right? I've been coaching a long time. I was one of the guys that would jump up on the table as a coach and get the crowd going. I did that in New Mexico State. I jumped up on the table and go all over my university and my crowd. Now, jumping up on the table is not quite what I want to do. So I think I would walk up a little bit cooler than that. Wow, and there's something about acting like you've been there before. But I think that if I was Coach Hurley under those circumstances, with what he just witnessed happen, I think the excitement level would have been too much for anybody, to be honest with you.
I think Rick Pitino would have acted that way too. How do you come back from a 19-point deficit and then you do the unimaginable, and you don't react and you just walk off? I can't imagine him doing that in that moment either.
I have a photo of us in the Final Four because I worked for Coach Pitino, right? And in the course of the Final Four, we came back from 16, 17 down, and in the middle of the game, Coach has got us holding us all back like this, and we're all over his back going, yeah, and he's holding us back like this, and we're So, don't get me wrong, Coach Pitino, he's cool, but he's got his moments too. He's about as fiery as they ever are going to get.
No, exactly. But to see how he kept his cool in that moment, I don't know how he did it.
It's that Italian, man. It's
that was crazy. But my next question was, and I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to this, when you take a look at Illini, for example, they're starting to recruit a lot of guys that are from overseas. And that's also going to be starting to take away from players that are in high school and that are in the AAU circuits and guys that are in the transfer portal. They're starting to pick up a lot of these guys who have already played technically pro overseas, and now these guys are coming in. I mean, you take a look at Illinois' roster. I mean, there's a ton of guys from overseas, a lot of guys that are older. I mean, even Michigan, they got a lot of guys that are older who are staying. So what are your thoughts on all these teams now going over the overseas route to find guys that are older, more polished, have played pro? What else? How is that going to also impact a lot of these young kids?
I think that when it's all said and done, these kids need to be employees, and they need to have contracts. I think that those things are important. I think these kids, when it's all said and done, their education is super important to me. I don't know how important it is to everyone else, but ultimately, you need to be able, and if kids don't do their job, they need to be able to be fired also. So there's a lot that needs to go into this. But when you think about going overseas, why would you recruit a freshman out of high school when you can go get a guy who's already done it? Why would you do that? Why would you go get a junior college kid? So the route for the high school kids are getting the blunt end of the stick here, because there's no reason to recruit a young player that cannot help you. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some young guys out there that are phenomenal, and they're older than their age, right? And they play like they've been around forever. There are a few like that, but for the most part, most freshmen are years away from being as good as they can be. At least 2 years away. And there's no time to develop anymore, because right now most of these deals are 1 year deals. So if you're going to go get someone, you're going to go get someone that's proven, that has already done it on a high level. And now that I have the money where I can pay you as much or more than where you're making in your country to come over here and play college, well, I mean, that adds another layer to this whole, professional college athletics.
Dr. X, could you please explain? Dr. X, could you please explain the concept of developing to Steve Kerr? Dr. X, could you please do that? Hey, Dwight, go ahead, Dwight.
No, oh my goodness. I wanted to piggyback off of Ashley's question. To the international point, Coach Theus, do you think this is why we're seeing G League players restore their eligibility and come back and play in college basketball because of the influx of the international player? Illinois, in essence, has I don't want to say professional team, but the international players on that roster we're going to see next weekend, in essence, they've played professional basketball in some way, shape, or form. So is that why we're starting to see the influx that the rules allow for G League players to come back, restore eligibility, and play in the NCAA?
I don't know if the NCAA is going to allow that to happen. There's a lot going on with that. For me, if you sign an NBA contract, you should not be able to come back to college. That shouldn't happen.
I agree.
But there is a larger reason for guys to stay in college now and not go pro. So that helps the game a little bit, because there's ways that they can, they're making money. People forget, guys play basketball. They don't play it they love the game, but they play it because they want to make a living doing the game. So wherever you're going to make the most money, you're going to get the most bang for your buck is what you're going to do. And finding those loopholes, finding those different ways, going overseas now, getting older players, getting more experienced players, makes a difference. You get a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. It is a huge difference in those players. Experience alone, it makes it.
So the moral of the story is just get a bunch of guys from Europe whose last name ends with itch. Remember, Shaq always said if their last name ends with itch, they can shoot. Illinois got half their team, their last name ends with itch. All right, B-Dot, let's go back to you, man. Play a little tennis with the great Reggie Theus.
Man, what's up, Coach, man? We appreciate your time, man. Thanks for being on. And shout out to the staff for bringing you on, because, I'm an Atlanta guy, so I'm very familiar with HBCUs, from the Clarks to your Morehouses. I spent a lot of time in Bethune and Tuskegee. So shout out, just want to give a lot of love to the HBCUs in general. But my question is, you leading that Bethune-Cookman program, what is something about HBCU basketball that is very special that a lot of people that, in the world don't know about? Like, what makes it so special compared to, all the other colleges and all your other PWIs and other higher institutes?
Well, listen, I feel very blessed to be able to be at an HBCU after all the things I've been able to do in my life. Actually right now you have 3 coaches in our conference that are leaving to go to PWIs as assistant coaches. So there's a constant rotation in that way. I feel that for me, it's been a labor of love. I think you're chosen to do certain things, and I think that my career, and Cam knows a lot about stuff that we've talked about. My career has put me in a position where I was best suited for this job of being an athletic director and basketball coach. So I feel very fortunate to be able to do this. And when you talk about the level of play, listen, there are a lot of guys that need to know what success looks like. These players, they have to have an opportunity to realize their dreams also. And for us at an HBCU and in the SWAC, I think the SWAC is a very competitive conference. And I think that, as time goes on, it will even get better. Got a great TV contract now, and the commissioner's done a phenomenal job at building our brand. I think that everything's looking very, very positive in terms of the growth of HBCUs and particularly the SWAC conference. When you talk about the talent level, you think about the kids that it's just another opportunity to get out there and do something, to have a chance to play professionally somewhere in the world. There's so many places where guys can go and continue their basketball careers. And you have to play college basketball for the most part in order to get there. So I think that, having that chance to be a part of that for any of these kids is really a blessing for me.
No, I appreciate
Coach,
that. No,
I got a couple more.
As somebody that went to Division II, you want to go somewhere where you're able to play. No, I was just basically just piggybacking on him that a lot of it looks down. So you want to go somewhere where you'll be able to play.
100%.
Indeed, man. Indeed. So, Coach Theus, we now know who the Final Four is on the men's side. Break it down for us, man. Who's the best team left in this tournament? How do you see it kind of going from here?
Well, the one thing that is for certain that size matters. And when you look at these teams, you're looking at the teams that are dominant in the middle, as the ladies start laughing, right? But it does matter.
It does matter. Y'all said it matters.
Yeah, size matters.
Yeah.
So when you think about the bigs that are in this in the tournament, you think about the domination in the middle, and then you think about pick and roll. So between the bigs and the guards that play pick and roll, that's the two combination. Being able to score in the paint in the red zone and being able to play off the dribble from pick and roll. And all four of these teams can do that. It's really going to be about the domination in the middle. I think that once the game is established, and of course I always say the game settles in, right? It is going to be the bigs that dominate the game, and the bigs that I think that, when you look at Michigan, you think about how they play in the middle. You look at, obviously Duke was up by 20 against UConn. UConn is one of the few teams that I think that plays in the Final Four that plays with more ball movement and player movement. Everybody else is off pick and roll and throwing it inside.
So who you picking to win?
Coach Theus, one more for you here, and because I know you got something coming up at 4:00 here. Let's talk.
We have an all campus meeting here. I got my president just texted me a minute ago, asked me where I was.
Oh, do you have to go now? I don't want to hold you up.
No, go ahead. We can finish. Go ahead.
All right, just super quick. Do you have a problem with SGA and his style of play and the foul baiting thing, or do you give him full credit? Talk to me about that.
Canada guy.
I think that the skill, the ability to draw fouls is a lost art. Mm-hmm. And so I think
Thank you, Reg. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think that I think he's a hell of a player. He plays in between. He plays the in-between speed. He's got a mid-range game. I don't think you have to live and die by the three. And I can appreciate guys who have a real ability not only score but get to the line, because that's what a real scorer is.
Thank you,
Coach. Could not
Coach
agree more with you. Could not agree more. Let's give Coach Theus. Let's give him a round of applause, man, for being Coach Theus, for the success this year of the third tournament, for the success to come, and for joining us here today. Coach, can't thank you enough, man. You know it's all love, and we're here for you whenever you want to come back.
Cam, you know how I feel about you. All you got to do is call.
My guy. I appreciate you,
guys.
Coach. Love you, man.
Thanks, Coach.
Right now.
Peace out. The great Reggie Theus, man. Holy cow. All right. So about 3 days ago, we were talking about the tanking options in the NBA. All right. And I haven't gone yet. And I'll make this somewhat quick. And I do have a little bit of a zinger at the end here. It's option number one, and it's the only option. Okay. Option number two, Daylan, with all due respect, you explained it. It's still over my head. I just option number one here is the one I still don't understand 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: you really like we're like top level sports media people, and we're having a hard time. Dr. X is a physician. He's by far the smartest guy in the room, and he needed Daylan to explain option number 2. Okay, so I don't feel bad about this. But fans, you guys, are fans going to understand 2 or 3? No, none of them will. Okay, so kill it, scrap it, flush it. No. I read them several times. I listened to Daylan. I still don't understand. Okay. Reading 2 and 3 was like reading a legal document in a divorce settlement or the ingredients to a pharmaceutical drug on the back of the bottle. Okay. I have no idea what's going on here. So with option number one, the math makes sense. The whole premise passes the common sense test, which I think is huge here. With this option, there's nothing to tank for. There's no advantage to gain by losing. Okay, the bottom 10 all get 8%. Okay, so go out there and play your guys. Utah, all right? No need to pull your starters in the fourth quarter now. Washington, okay? The only possible tank would be a team trying to fall out of the play-in tournament, right, to get into that 8% group, the bottom 10. That would be the only thing you would tank for. Yo, I don't want to be in the play-in tournament. I want to get into the bottom 10. Okay, you might have some teams, but their fan bases aren't going to allow that, right? We could be in the play-in tournament. Look at the Clippers right now. Nobody cares about the Clippers except them, and they're rolling right now, and they're in the play-in tournament, okay? Yeah. It's the only thing their damn fans have. I shouldn't say damn. It's the only thing that their fans have out there. They're Clippers fans, okay? With, by the way, the worst ticket app in the history of the world. Clean it up, Steve Ballmer. All right, here's the zinger.
Agreed.
Here's the zinger. What? I mean, it's so bad. It's unbelievable. By the way, the Orlando Magic have a really terrible ticket app, too. I think it's a ticket app thing. I don't even think it's specific to the team. Any old way. I got a bonus take for you guys. Do you guys remember me calling out Adam Silver, saying he needed to man up? You guys remember that, right? I've done it several times this year. Adam, you need to man up, okay? And once again, it's another assist from your boy Cam to Adam Silver. Dwight, it's a chest pass right in the pocket, right in the shooting window. You go up and you nail the shot. Shams Charania has said, I am told Adam Silver will also Adam Silver will also expect to have wide-ranging disciplinary powers that if there are offenders to these rules after the tanking concept is put into place, he's going to have even wider powers to potentially have an impact around the league, okay? In other words, the sledgehammer, okay? No, this isn't going to. So Adam Silver has, in fact, manned up. I wish he didn't always need me to feed him these ideas, but that's kind of the way the relationship and the dynamic is going right now. And so we rock with it. But Adam, I've been saying this, and finally you understand it. You are the commissioner. You are the commissioner. You're one of the most powerful men in the world, okay? Flex. When they're acting up, flex. When they're acting right, don't flex. It's that easy. Okay, seriously, dude, Roger Goodell flexes, and here's the thing, when Roger Goodell flexes, it's fire, ready, aim. Okay, like it's fire ready. It's all discombobulated. I hate the vetting of the punishment in the NFL. We move on to another topic here, guys and girls. And I want B-Dot to go first on this one. B-Dot, start the me, because I'm coming to you, bro. All right, does Luka deserve more MVP love? Does Luka Doncic deserve more MVP love? That's the question. Luka said the better, and by the way, cue the violin on the shoulder. He said, the better I play, the more I go down in the ratings. I don't know what more I can do. Okay? Quote unquote from Luka Doncic. Last season, there it is. There it is. It's music to Luka's ear. SGA led the NBA last year in 25-point games, 30-point games, 35-point games, 40-point games, 45-point games, and 50-point games, won MVP. Luka is leading in all of those categories, including 60-point games, and he's fourth in the MVP race. Just a little food for thought right there. B-Dot, does Luka Doncic deserve more MVP love?
I mean, of course, I think he does. I mean, we've seen third and fourth seeded teams, players win the MVP. And the thing, and what Luka's doing this year, he's dominating. Luka doing clutch shots, leading the NBA in points and all the categories you mentioned. The only thing is, it's a lot of better players that impact winning, more than Luka does, just not on the offensive side. We got Wemby, which is a crazy stat that Wemby has less minutes played than LeBron James, but LeBron isn't eligible for any type of NBA awards. And you can also, that can also be a plus for Wemby that shows you his dominance in such a short spurt. And then you got Jokic, who could have won the MVP the last 4 years, and you have SGA, who's playing better than last year, and they're number one. So it's like, Luka is it's tough. You want to put in the dating aspect. You got Luka's a beautiful 8.5, but then you got all these 9.5, these 10 models, and which they may have better personality because none of them has gotten suspended for the amount of technicals they received. So at the end of the day, Luka, and I love what he's doing with that Los Angeles Lakers squad and leading them to where they are, top 3, top 4 in the West. But at the end of the day, you got these demigods over here with Wemby and Jokic and SGA, like I said, who's playing better than last year. So I think Luka is right where he needs to be at number 4. And there's nothing to his game, but at the end of the day, these guys impact the game in bigger ways, I think, than Luka does.
Okay, so that is a no from B-Dot. Luka does not deserve more MVP love. All right, let's go to the ladies right here. Let's start with Ashlyn. Ashlyn, does Luka deserve more MVP love?
Ashley.
It's Ashley, but that's okay.
Wait, no, pardon me. Ashley, pardon me.
Yes, totally fine. I'm going to actually side with B-Dot on this. If you guys don't remember, a couple years ago, the media was so high on Luka when he was in Dallas. So I don't want to hear anything from him. Like, I'm not getting any love. They've been giving you love since you entered the league, and you're only playing one side of the ball. Now, I will say, Wemby's argument is, I play defense too. That's what Defensive Player of the Year award is for, okay? Like, since when are we awarding both sides of the ball for an MVP? That's not how this works. You take a look at Jokic as well. Love Jokic. But he's having even better numbers now this year than he was years before when he won the MVP. And who is he even playing against? I mean, you look at Jokic's matchups every night. I mean, there's no one stopping Jokic at all. He should be putting up those numbers every game. I'm putting Shea there. But we can make the argument here because I looked at some of these stats. All of these top players who are up for MVP right now, even when they're not playing, their teams are still winning. So I take a look at that and I'm like, well, are they really impacting the game at a level that their team really needs them every single night? You take a look, Jaylen Brown missed some games. I think he should also be in the MVP conversations, considering how far they've been able to go without Jason Tatum. But you take a look at when Shea was missing games. OKC is still winning. Wemby missing games. They're still winning. I think when you look at Luka, for example, I don't think the Lakers are winning without Luka. They went on, a 9-game winning streak. And I know that I'm now flipping on what I said initially, but I just think being a third seed, they can't award you the MVP for that. I'm still going to go with Shea just because I think his impact is more than, he might not be playing, but his impact, even when he's at practice, he's on the bench. I mean, these guys look up to Shea. Shea is a leader. Through and through, plays both ends of the ball. And also 55% from the field. Like, are you freaking kidding me? As a guard, that goes back to my point with Jokic. Like, he should be putting up those numbers. You're a big man, but when you're seeing Shea and what he's doing every night, I still have to give it to Shea. Back-to-back MVP.
Wow.
I said a
Okay.
lot there.
I like it a
That
lot.
was great.
I like it a lot. So I'm also hearing not more Luka love, and I'm still looking for that, maybe or maybe not. As we go to Daylan. Daylan, does Luka Doncic deserve more MVP love?
Oh my! I mean, let's start with look at the purse.
Yes.
See, it says Lakers right here.
Examine.
Okay, we got a little basketball purse right here. Okay, I'm a huge Laker fan,
that's nice.
and yes, Luka deserves more MVP love. I think like the second half of what you were saying, it's like MVP. I think you guys are mixing up best player with MVP. Like without Shea, OKC is still amazing. Without Luka, the Lakers are a slight mess. Like most valuable player, you need Luka. You don't need Shea Gilgeous. Like Luka does everything for this team. You're looking at him, especially in the first quarter. I don't know if you guys noticed like his stats. You're looking like, wow, this is an MVP candidate. Like he's doing everything for this team, and they're winning. It's not like he's doing everything and they're just losing. Like he's doing everything and they're winning. Yeah, like you said, 9 straight games, and it's like they're playing good teams too, like back to back. Like, and I think he deserves more love. 4th? How is he 4th? Like, at least top 2, 4th place. I think he does deserve more love for sure.
Yes, queen.
Okay. Katie, are you co-signing Daylan? Does Luka need more MVP love?
I am co-signing her 100%. If you guys, according to my calculations, Luka actually was the last person to beat the Thunder in the playoffs also. So that's T. I think he can go mano-a-mano with SGA like easily. I think that like you look, obviously I love LeBron. I love the Lakers. LeBron's integral to the Lakers, but yeah, you have to look at how they're doing without Luka, and that's undeniable. I also think like LA has been so good to him. He's looking unbothered, hydrated, refreshed. Like he's really in his bag right now. I think the only thing he needs to work on is regulating his nervous system. Like having 16 technical fouls. I mean, if he can just get that part together, like deal with his divorce, whatever.
Yeah, he's going through a lot.
I know he's going through a lot.
Too.
I know it's a lot, but like deep breathing. You're in LA now. Like it's time to regulate the nervous system. You can do it. As soon as he gets that together, like no question, like 1 or 2. Like he shouldn't be number 4. I mean, look at the numbers.
I think number 2 is fair.
Number 2 would be
number
fair.
2 is fair.
4 is crazy.
So we would have SGA 1 for me, Luka 2.
Jokic.
Jokic.
Wemby 3rd, Jokic 4th, Jaylen Brown 5th, and that kills me to say.
Yeah,
because I like Jaylen Brown. I think like he deserves
Tatum's
more
back.
love. But
and I agree. I mean, shit.
Man, I think we just watering down the fact just because we see the triple-double stuff so much.
We do. It's watered down.
It's not, though. It's not.
It is watered
down. If it watered down, everybody would be doing it.
Well, Jokic is, first off, I mean, he should be. I just think when you're that big, you should at least be having a double-double. But I mean, the triple-doubles are great. But I get that. But are you noticing, too, what they're calling an assist?
Yeah, okay, yeah. The handoff, Jamal Murray.
So that's also to me when I'm taking a look at that, and I haven't been able to do a real big deep dive on this because I want to look at the actual game film and see what the play-by-play is on ESPN to see what they're tracking as an assist. Yeah. But when you like, it used to just be like catch and shoot. Now it's like how many dribbles does a guy get? You know, and a lot of people can make an argument. Well, he's the one creating the play. No, I mean the assists look kind of sketch to me. What they're calling an assist.
2 dribbles, I think.
This
2
is
dribbles,
how
okay, 2 dribbles,
assists,
but some of these are like multiple.
If you go back to when John Stockton was being awarded assists, he would pass the ball to Karl Malone. Malone would take 2 or 3 dribbles, make a shot, and John Stockton would get awarded with an assist. So this assist thing has been going back to the 80s and 90s. So this is not new. It's not new at all.
All right, so we have 2-2 right now.
I will say, I just want to add one more thing, and that is that Luka is a Pisces, and Pisces is the most dominant astrological sign in the NBA, actually. Like, facts. Like, You've got Jokic, you've got Stephen Curry, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, SGA, Anthony Davis, all Pisces. That's crazy. And next up is Virgos after that, Kobe, obviously. But yeah, so that's just a fun fact. So yeah, it's within him.
They get hurt a lot too. Mm-hmm. Who next? Who? I don't even want to get into that.
That is a very, very fun fact. All right. It is Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. We're 2-2, Dr. X, as we head to New York City. Does Luka Doncic deserve more MVP love, Dr. X?
I think it's I think he has to have a paradigm shift. Like, yes, he does deserve more MVP love. In fantasy sports, I love Luka. He checks all the boxes and everything. But what I would say for Luka, the caliber of player he is at this point, especially having been to the finals already, and for most of the players, I think SGA, if he wins it this year, after that, just be you. Like, know your personnel versus like know your power. So know your power. Like, based off the landscape, you may not win it, right? But the MVP these guys should be going after is Eastern Conference MVP if your team gets to the finals, and finals MVP. And that's what Luka will get if he takes his team to the finals and if he wins the finals. And to me, that's really the MVP that only matters, because this is really up to sports opinions, people who like certain narratives, storylines, and things of that nature. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Like, I know we have to talk about it and all that, but yes, Luka should get more MVP love. But I think Luka shouldn't feel bad about it. He should just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go get the Finals MVP or Western Conference MVP. And Rick, do you know if that rule was changed by the time does he have a Western MVP already? I think he already has one when he took Dallas to the finals, right?
I don't remember if they had that award back then. I don't remember that.
I think they did, though, because I think last year Jalen won it over Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown won it over Jason Tatum. I think they did have a bit. Whatever it is, stack those. You know what I mean? Forget all this regular season MVP stuff. Like, let the younger players who are just coming up try to establish themselves with that. But for Luka, at this point, don't worry about that, bro. Just like play your game and let it show with success with your team. And they obviously won't forget you. When your team is at the top, there's no way they can overlook you.
Great now, point. Before we take it to field, Doc, I see what you're saying, but it's a difference, bro. Luka just came from Dallas, all right? Ain't no taxes in Texas, okay? All you got to worry about is paying them tolls. He done came all the way out to LA, all right? Gas is $17 a gallon, okay? State taxes is OD, all right? You get incentives. There's incentives in your contract that if you make MVP, you win these awards, you get a boost in that bread, in that money. And now he going through a divorce too. Oh no, I'm crying for that MVP too. I need that extra bag. Now I gotta go. Now I gotta pay half. Now I gotta pay these state taxes.
I feel you.
That finals
MVP, I feel you.
That
but the contracts. Yeah, but the actual contracts are favorable for players like Luka. Like, he just has to check one of those boxes. He doesn't have to get all NBA and MVP, and he has to get one of them. I think All-Star appearance or All NBA or MVP or one of those type of awards.
It's an extra bag for all.
He already gets the bonus. You think so?
How much do you get?
League MVP over all NBA. Yeah, you the best player in the league. Yeah, you gonna get an extra 2-3 million or extra whatever it is. Like, yeah, I'm going for the MVP too, and I'm complaining. And I live in LA too.
It sounds good. I just want to clarify that. I just want to clarify that though. But yeah, it sounds good.
But I understand what you're saying on a winner side. What matters the most?
Yeah, he's good, man. He already
at the end of the day, you got to make the most money you can.
Generational wealth. He already checked generational wealth. He's good. His family's good.
Joel Embiid cried for his MVP. Success. We ain't tripping on that.
He was young then. He was young then.
Luka's still young. Take it away, Dwight. We
All right. Hey, just super quick. Doc, you were right. Good recall. Luka did win Western Conference Finals MVP back in 2024. So that's a good call by you. All right, Dwight Walton, does Luka Doncic deserve more MVP love?
Rick, the fact you're asking this question just tells you how great this MVP race is. But to answer the question, listen, they all want their love. But the question Luka has to ask himself, does he deserve to be spoken more about then Victor Wembanyama, then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, then Nikola Jokic, then Jaylen Brown. I think all of those guys are ahead of Luka in the MVP race. It's not because Luka isn't having a great year. It just might be a case of too little, too late. He's had a great stretch in this part of the season, which is at the most important part of the year, when you and your team need to be ramping up and gaining momentum as you get towards the playoffs. Again, he deserves to be in the MVP conversation, but I think he's being spoken about enough in this conversation. My MVP is Victor Wembanyama. I think Jaylen Brown is second. Then you can decide who, if Shai is third or Nicole is third or vice versa. But just based on the stories for the Spurs and the Celtics coming into this season, I just think Victor Wembanyama and Jaylen Brown should be 1-2 in the MVP race. Again, I understand that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is having possibly the best year of his career, even better than his MVP season. And we're definitely taking for granted the triple-double that Jokic puts up on a nightly basis. I just think if the triple-double was so easy to get, the league would be doing it on a regular basis. The triple-double needs to be more respected. I don't understand all this watered down talk. Getting a triple-double is not easy. Russell Westbrook got it, averaged the first season. Nobody else did, except for Oscar Robertson. Nikola Jokic did it. That's two players in the history of the National Basketball Association. So those guys deserve to be in the MVP conversation. Nothing against Luka. Just be a case of too little, too late. Again, for my money, Victor Wembanyama is 1, Jaylen Brown is 2, and then you can decide where Shai, Jokic, and Doncic fit in 3, 4, and 5. Those are the top 5 candidates as far as I'm concerned.
Great answer, man. All right. Now it is your boy's turn. Hell no, Luka Doncic does not need more MVP love. Read the room, people. Read the room. Read the room. Luka is not the only NBA superstar who's rolling right now. Wemby plays 20 damn minutes a game, and he puts up 25, 15, and 5 with 7 blocks and 3 steals. I mean, give me a break. SGA has scored 20-plus points in 379 straight games. Okay, Will Chamberlain's in heaven. Will Chamberlain's in heaven going, damn, dude. Okay, he's impressing Wilt right now. Impressing Wilt is very, very, very hard to do, okay? You have Nikola Jokic, second straight year averaging a triple-double. Completely with Dwight on this. I'm not saying that the triple-double is not watered down. It is. I just disagree with it, right? I don't think it should automatically make you the MVP, but I think people are like, oh yeah, Jokic is averaging a triple-double. Ho-hum, on to the next. No, he's averaging a triple-double, okay? It's happened like 6 times in league history, okay? In like 80 years of basketball with 5,000 players. 3 guys. 3. That's it. Yes, it's a great stat. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown. By the way, I saw he's got a cameo on one of the CBS crime dramas. I saw that while watching Hoops yesterday. Go get him, JB. Go get him. Go get that bag, dude. Go get that Hollywood bag. Anyway, Jaylen Brown is the best two-way. He's the best two-way player in the game, not named Wemby. He said that himself. I'll say it right here. Okay, Luka is getting defense shamed in this MVP race. There's no question about it, and I'm fine with it. He only plays one end. He cries every time he misses a shot. I mean, like not even foul, like slapping his thighs and all this bull crap. But Dwight said it, and I'll say it again. This is one of the absolute best MVP races of our lifetimes. It's not usually like this. You either have a guy that's out in front, and we just kind of know, right? Remember like the Derrick Rose year, right? It was kind of just like, dude, he just stole this thing. It's his, man. SGA last year for me. And I know there were some Jokic people as well, but I thought SGA was pretty clearly the MVP last year. Then you have like the years where Embiid and Jokic, and it's those 2 guys, right? And then like 2 guys are going for it. You rarely have 5 incredible MVP cases. all 5 of these guys could win MVP. And I mean, if Luka won the award, I'm not going to sit over here and piss and moan. I'm not. Like, he's been absolutely extraordinary on one end. Okay. And so I do think the voters and the greater like public opinion is holding that against Luka. And by the way, Nikola Jokic is 5 times the defensive player that Luka Doncic is. Like, Jokic isn't great, but he's sufficient. Okay, he's a sufficient NBA defender. He is not a pigeon on every defensive possession like your boy Luka. Okay, so a lot of years Luka would be the front runner, right? I mean, the guy's averaging almost 35 a game. He's basically 40 a game over his last 12 games. Okay, that's why all this Laker love, and I get it. I do get it. Okay, we've all got our guy, our team, and all that kind of stuff. Nikola Jokic in his last 2 games are like recently. Went 23, 21, and 19. He went 23, 17, and 17 in back-to-back games. Did you hear Nikola Jokic crying about I should get more MVP love? No, he did not. He does not give a rat's you-know-what about the MVP. He only cares about his horses in Serbia. We all know this by now. Victor Wembanyama, like on the first 100 games, he's better than everybody in league history. Okay. Then you have SGA, 31.4 PPG, longest 20-point streak of all time, best record in the league. Hello. And he's done this despite a ton of injuries. So Luka, I'm not sorry, but you got to get in line, dude. And you are 4 or 5 for me. I would put Brown at 4. I would put Luka at 5. And I don't feel great about that. That's how great this MVP race is. That we have a guy averaging 35 points a game on the LA Lakers, okay, who are good, 3rd in the West, and this guy's 5th in the MVP race, okay? The math has never really worked out like that. All right, we got one more topic here, guys, and then we're going to do our rant, and then we're going to say goodbye to the people. Let's talk Bronny James. Got to capture the news cycle on this one because next week it may be out of sight, out of mind. Or Thursday. What's next for Bronny? Okay, what's next? And like, LeBron is, what's up?
I have thoughts. Remember last time I was here, I was like, oh my God, LeBron needs to go on this like reunion tour and he needs to stay in LA. Okay, I kind of changed my opinion. I think LeBron should go back to Cleveland for his last year. All of my Cleveland relatives would be very happy. And then Bronny, he's been killing it in the G League. I think he should just stay and develop like separate from his father for a little bit. And then they could have a father-son matchup for once, make a little history stat about that, like playing against each other. I think like he's improving. I mean, he's given a lot of shit and he has all the eyes on him, but I think he's like slowly making progress in the G League. Like, let's just like have him stay out here. Bron goes back to Cleveland. I mean, it is really sad for me to say that out loud, but I think it could be interesting. Give him some time away, spread his wings from his father.
Okay. I mean, Katie, look, I really like the take. I do. So let's keep it with you all out in LA here. And I kind of bring this up because he just had a 26-point game. He's been killing it. The G League numbers are strong. And we had the first father-to-son assist in the history of the NBA when Bron passed it to Bronny, who cashed in a 3-ball. So that's why we're talking about this right now. Let's go to Daylan next. Daylan, what is next for Bronny James?
Those stats.
No, because like
we're saying we hate those stats.
I hate stats like that. It'll be like, oh, first 41-year-old to make a layup, and I'm like,
oh, that's different.
Yeah. No, but like first
him and his son,
like,
that's like some Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Senior moment. Putting in baseball.
Yeah.
But
I understand what you're saying.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
first 41 of the tie shoe at
half
court. Like,
they keep doing that, and it's so annoying. Bronny's not it. Everyone's like, give him time. It's his second year. No, he's not it. The talent isn't at that NBA level yet. It's great at the G League. I think he can be an amazing G League player. You're really playing because of your father, and we love Bronny. I love Bronny, but it's talent-wise, it's not there. If he was on any other team, he would not be playing at all.
Does he have potential, you think, to
I mean, you know, you
grow?
say anyone can get better, but it's kind of like he's at his ceiling. It's like, what else can he really do? I don't see him really improving. He's had all the people he's needed in his life to get to where he's at now. And it's like, you've had all the trainers, you've had, you know, like the gym access, you've had everything you needed to be the best player you can be. And it's like, okay, we gave you last year, like, okay, he was a rookie. Now it's like, okay, it's his second year. And were we going to keep doing that? All right, third year, he's still not doing much. I don't see it. I don't see his ceiling being as high as people are projecting.
All right.
My turn.
Spicy. Okay. Let's keep. I love it, Daylan. Let's keep it in LA. Let's go to Ashley. Ashley, what is next for Bronny James?
Is it bad to say that I just don't really care that much? I mean, there's so much talent out there, and I know that LA media always wants to harp on Lakers and LeBron and Bronny and what's next, and I just think we're paying way too close attention to just one guy that, you know, wasn't a top pick in the NBA. I mean, I'm happy for him. Like, I'm not rooting against him. I want him to do well. I definitely see him as a two-way player. He could definitely come off the bench on a lot of these NBA teams. I'm not going to completely just write him off and say he sucks and be in the G League forever. But he's just one of these players where I just think we need to be giving more attention to other guys. And I'm just kind of, you know, sick of the narrative over and over again of, oh, he's LeBron's son, which it's great. We've never seen anything like this before. But now it's starting to be overplayed, where now we have to see all his highlights from the G League on ESPN every single day, when there's just a lot more talent that we should be displaying. We should be talking more about the Hornets. We should be talking more about the Atlanta Hawks. We should be talking more about, you know, some of these guys that are, you know, were in the top 5, top 10 in the draft, guys that are coming up that I think deserve more of the spotlight than Bronny. I mean, I get why we do it. I respect him. I respect LeBron and everything they've been able to accomplish as a father-son duo and everything LeBron's brought to the game. But I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of Bronny. And I think it's time to shift gears on that.
Bronny fatigue has set in with Ashley. She ain't having it. B-Dot. And B-Dot, what is next for Bronny James?
I mean, as an athlete myself, and who's played the game, you know, not at the highest level, but I was in the D League when it was the D League. And I think the attention is perfectly fine. We want to try to give credit and you know, give exposure to the G League as much as possible. I don't think it's irrelevant media coverage that we're giving Bronny and the G League. Why? Because this season he's shot 50% and 40% from the three while shooting 85% from the free throw line, while that G League team of the South Bay Lakers being the number 1 team in the G League. So if we're going to give media to the G League, why not give it to that top team? And Bronny just happens to be on that team. Wow, now we know, now people are now understanding who Drew Time is. That played at Gonzaga. This guy is a beast.
Drew Timmy.
Drew Timmy. Like, let's be real. And if Bronny, I understand, like, this dude almost died 4 years ago. You feel me? So for him to be doing what he's doing, if he got the minutes on a team like, let's say, the Dallas Mavericks, that they're giving to Nembhard, that they're giving to Brandon Williams, that they're giving to Jalen Hardy, if they gave those minutes to Bronny, I think Bronny would be smooth. If he averaged 10 and 5, if he had a backup guard like TJ McConnell, if he's giving those minutes. And I'm only saying this because we're talking about, you know, Bronny. And I understand the fatigue and all that, but shit, if Kobe had a son in the league, we doing the same thing. If Michael Jordan had a son in the league, we doing the goddamn same thing for these superstar players, because it's something we've never seen before. But I understand it on both ends. Yeah, all right. Bronny ain't done, but he's gotten better each year. And I feel as though if LeBron, when he's retired, Bronny will be able to develop into, you know, we're not saying he's gonna be a great guard, but my God, this guy is 6'2", athletic as shit. You feel me? But I understand what you're saying. Why are we giving all this credit to Bronny and Mac McClung is not getting no love? And he's the G League all-time leading scorer.
50s.
Like, he just had 50 the other day, and
crazy.
So I understand it too. I agree with y'all 100%. But since we're talking about him, I want to, you know, let's give his flowers, you know, because it's hard to develop on a Los Angeles Lakers team where they don't develop any of their young talent. You know, they end up getting traded away, and that's when we see, oh damn, Brandon Ingram really is a great player. You know, like that Kyle Kuzma did do well in certain aspects. He's not having a great, post Lakers career, but at the end of the day, I mean, what's next for Bronny is him separating himself from his father and getting the opportunity to get 15 to 18 minutes a game, and we see what goes from there. But at the end of the day, we're always going to get Bronny because he's LeBron James' son.
That's why I think Bron should go to Cleveland.
Once LeBron retires, we're going to see is going to be the Bronny. How is the Bronny meter? How is he doing without his dad? So at the end of the day, I think more credit should be given to other teams and other players. But, to highlight something that's never been seen, never been done in NBA history, I mean, it's only right. We can let's give him this year. Next year, all right, we can get off the Bronny train.
All right, Dr. X, what is next for Bronny James in your opinion?
I mean, I agree with kind of everybody a little bit on some of their points. There is some Bronny fatigue, number one, but I also think he's a good player and deserves an opportunity outside of his father's shadow, which kind of speaks to Katie's point. And then LeBron is still productive, so he still should be in the NBA. And I do like, it's a production, So at the end of the day, we like great stories. So I think it would be a good story. I've been saying this too from the beginning of the year for LeBron to eventually go to Cleveland and his career there. Although I felt Bronny should go there because I know the fan base just loves him there. They saw him grow up there as a kid, and it'd be great if he actually gets some meaningful minutes. Now, whether or not he actually earned those meaningful minutes, I mean, the G League stats say he's earned it. So why not give him a shot? So I just really want to see a team and or a coaching staff really give him a fair shot that he's actually earned. And he just needs to be on the right team for that. I think that will really happen once LeBron finally retires, and we'll finally see like if he earns a spot. You know what I mean? Because after he retires, I don't think most other teams outside the Lakers, and not even the Lakers and maybe Cleveland, will really care. So he would have to be a valuable player to the point that they're saying, you know what, we really need a player like Bronny James, and really see what he can hang his hat on. Because the fact that he's shooting so well, he was also known for being a defender as well. It's kind of like a Davion Mitchell type of player. And so I think if he kind of lets that be his superpower, then all this other stuff he's doing right now in the G League will be the icing in the cake, where he won't have any weaknesses per se, and you want him out there on the floor because he's a great defender. So I kind of hope that is his calling card in the years to come, that he could be a star in his role on a really good team. And I think that would be a great for him to really prove that he has some value, and it wasn't just nepotism. Of course, nepotism had a part of it, and that gave him the opportunity. But at least he's not fumbling the ball, and he's at least proving his value.
These are great points around the board. Dwight Walton, it is your turn. Take all the time you want.
It's pretty clear that Bronny's on his way G League, nor shoot the percentages that you do in the G League if you're not improving and using the league in its proper way to get to where you want to go. And also, this has nothing to do with LeBron retiring or being separated. It's about the roster construction. Bronny is not good enough to be on a championship contending roster. But you can't tell me that he couldn't play for the Utah Jazz right now, that he couldn't play for the Washington Wizards, that he couldn't play for the Sacramento Kings, that he couldn't play for the New Orleans Pelicans. There's plenty of teams right now to where he could play for if given the proper opportunity. He's not good enough to crack the Lakers lineup. They're trying to win a championship. He's not good enough right now to play for any contending team. And let's get one thing straight. LeBron James is not leaving LA. All you guys out in LA, my cousin lives out in LA. I've been to LA a lot more over the last couple of years. Ain't nobody wanting to leave LA. LeBron ain't going to Cleveland. He's staying in LA. And the main reason for that is because whatever team LeBron goes to, especially if he's about winning championships, he's going to have to take a pay cut no matter where he goes. If he goes to Cleveland, if he goes to Dallas, if he goes to New York, whatever team he goes to, he cannot do the roster a disservice by commanding 20, 30, or $40 million. He's going to have to take the veteran minimum. So why take it in Cleveland? Why take it in New York? Why take it in Dallas or wherever? Stay in LA. Rob Pelinka is going to do right by that roster and build it, which is more conducive for today's NBA. So Bronny just needs to go play for a roster where he can get time. And it's not going to be for the Lakers because he's not good enough to play for a championship contending team. But he is on the right trajectory. He's doing it the correct way. He's getting reps in the G League. He will eventually be a solid, hopefully rotation player in the future. We're talking about a guy that several years ago almost died. If he had one full year in college to where he was able to get the proper reps, I think we'd be having a different conversation about Bronny. Also, all this talk about the fatigue with Bronny, stuff like that, we've never seen this before. It's LeBron James, it's Bronny James. I think it's pretty cool if you have a child that's able to go to work with you every day and to say, you know what, I get to play with my dad. I'm on an NBA court with my dad. Was nepotism involved? Of course it was. But at the same time, you still have to be half decent to be on an NBA court playing with these guys. So Bronny's doing it the right way. He's improving. He just needs to go to a team where development is paramount and to where he can get proper minutes and to be able to play through his mistakes and not continually looking over his shoulder.
Dwight, you're my guy, but I disagree with the LeBron coming back to LA thing. The Lakers don't want him back. You asked why. Like, does LeBron want to leave LA? Probably not, but it's new ownership, it's new leadership, and I know Rob Pelinka's there for now. Rob Pelinka's going to get blown out at the end of this season. I told you that when they hired Tony Bennett to be their draft coordinator or whatever the title. I'm like, that's not good for Rob Pelinka. I mean, you bring in a guy that's kind of doing your job, not a good look, bro. And new bosses, not a good look, okay? New bosses make changes. I think Rob Pelinka's out after this year. But I don't think the Lakers want LeBron back. They're ready to move on with Luka and a fully maxed out Austin Reeves and then flush out the roster from there. Dwight, we will see how this plays out. But that's kind of my take on LeBron. And where he goes, Cleveland or Golden State or wherever, I don't know that. But I also think that LeBron feels spurned by the Lakers. Like, how dare you? I gave you a bubble championship, and now you're treating me like this. I'm the third option. He's being a good soldier. He's being a good teammate. And
how are they treating him, Rick?
Pardon me?
How are they treating him?
I mean, they didn't tell him about the Anthony Davis trade. They didn't tell him about the ownership change. They blindsided him with all kinds of stuff where we know that he used to have his hand on the steering wheel of the entire operation. And then the Russell Westbrook trade happened, and Jeannie Buss said, give me that steering wheel back. You just ruined my team. And from that point on, the Clutch Sports influence over LAL has diminished to the point now where Clutch Sports is just an agent now to the LA Lakers. They don't run the Lakers, not even close, but at one point they did. So let me give you my take on Bronny here. And Dwight, I mean, this is going to be fun to watch, right? I mean, so I may be eating crow. You may be proven right, but we'll see. Wanted to play a little tennis with you on that. Bronny James, what's next for him? He is a rotational player in the NBA. He is not a scrub. He does not suck. He is not a G Leaguer, okay? He is an NBA player who's cutting his teeth in the G League. It's a big difference. Bronny is developing into a player. I want Bronny James to keep all of the receipts. I hope he kept every single one of the receipts. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star. I don't think he will be an all-star, okay? He's going to be a 10-year NBA guy, rotational player. I mean, God bless him. But if Garrett Temple is still in the frickin' NBA, Garrett Temple. What skill set does Garrett Temple have? Okay? Like, Bronny James is an NBA guy. All right? Did you guys know Bronny James is shooting 42% from three-point range in NBA games this year? Did you guys know that? 42%. Luke Kennard is impressed by that. Hard to impress Luke in the three-ball category. Bronny is an NBA athlete. Bronny can defend at the NBA level right now. The key for him, and I said this even back at USC, he's got to get a shot because he's undersized. He's a 2-guard in a 1-guard body. Okay, that's a problem. So you got a size deficit. You got to make up for that with athleticism and motor and intuition, instincts, all that stuff. But that's only going to take you so far. You've got to be drilling 38 to 42% to be in a rotation and get 20 minutes a night. And he's working his way towards that. And I'm betting on him to become that. Obviously, he's been working his butt off, making massive improvements with the three-point stroke. And I'm very happy for him, man. I'm totally here for the Bronny thing. But again, I don't see stardom, but I see a really solid rotational NBA player. Guys, it is Rant 30 here on Beyond the Surface. I go first, B-Doc goes last. Ladies, here's how we do this. It's a rant, okay? So you can pop off on anything, or you can like send a shout out or make sort of a final word comment. But like we all get our point, our time here to just kind of look the camera and give it what we got. All right. So the canvas is open, ladies. Do whatever you're going to do here. But B-Dot will go last, and I go right now. I am mad at a player that I'm a big fan of.
Wait,
I am mad.
He said I'm mad.
He's going first.
Oh my God, he's going.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I am mad at a player that I like a lot. And he's near and dear to your hearts out there in LA, although not anymore, but he once was. His name is Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams. I am mad at Caleb Williams for attempting to jack George Gervin's nickname. For the love of God, are you serious, young man? Caleb Williams recently filed 4 trademark applications to legally claim the Iceman nickname for his own clothing and merchandise line, but the Iceman is fighting back. Days after Williams submitted the paperwork, George Gervin filed his own competing trademark applications for both Iceman and Iceman 44. In his legal filings, Gervin's team made sure to point out that he has been using the moniker commercially, as in for money, since 1979. 22 years before Caleb Williams was even conceived, okay? Or maybe even a thought. Gervin has also gone to the press to defend his legacy, saying there's only one Iceman, and I am he. Oh, that's dope right there. He also said, and I thought this was very cool, he gave love to the young fella, okay? So Caleb, he's trying to meet you in the middle here. He's not sledgehammering you like David Stern might have. He's trying to like meet you in the middle and be cool about this, all right? I would recommend that you reciprocate. This is what George Gervin said, quote, I've got nothing but respect for Williams. He's already proved greatness and his potential upside is great, like an Iceman, but that name is taken. All I'm saying is, young fella, we've already got one Iceman, okay? I wish Gerv already had that trademark, right? Probably should have kind of gotten out in front of that, but he didn't, and now he's in a battle, and I certainly hope he wins. Common sense needs to prevail here. So frequently, common sense does not prevail. Like if they go with option number 2 or option number 3 for tanking, that's not commonsensical. Common sense will lose. If they go with 1, common sense will win. You cannot jack one of the most iconic nicknames of all time. You can't do it, okay? So Iceman is one of the greatest nicknames of all time. I came up with a little list here of other nicknames that you cannot jack. Magic, Black Mamba, you see him right back there. Mailman, Sweetness, The Bus. Okay, these are household name nicknames. The Great One, Megatron, Big Papi, Air Jordan, and Prime Time. Prime Time. And like you all know who the human beings attached to those nicknames. I don't even need to explain it to you. Okay, you can't jack those nicknames. and most of them are probably trademark, making the point moot. This point is not moot. I call up Caleb Williams to withdraw his filings and let George Gervin have his nickname without a fight. Don't fight this, young fella. Let's talk money. Caleb Williams will soon be making $50 to $60 million a year. A year. Not including endorsements and shoes and commercials and State Farm and blah, blah, blah. Do you guys know what George Gervin's highest annual salary was as one of the greatest players in NBA history? $800,000.
Oh, damn.
Do you think George Gervin is on a mountain of money right now? I certainly hope he is. I don't know about business ventures and all this kind of stuff, but this is dollars and cents. Caleb Williams is being greedy and selfish right now, okay? Caleb Williams is robbing from the elderly. Let's put it that way. That's what he's doing.
God.
He's robbing from the elderly. George Gervin, 73 years old. Why are you effing with George Gervin? He's an American institution. Are you serious right now? Stop being greedy and selfish. Caleb needs to think about his ancestors. He needs to think about those who came before him to pave the way for the opportunities that he has before him today. Do the right thing, Caleb. As we go to Katie. Katie, hit us with a rant.
Oh, right.
On the top of your head.
Rick, that was crazy. Okay, guys, I have a bit of a controversial rant / hopeful wishful thinking. I think Tuesday's game, Lakers-Cavs, could be a fascinating little preview for the playoffs. Obviously, Cleveland is one of the most complete teams in the East right now. Obviously, it also could be Boston or your Knicks. But for Lakers, the wild card is the Lakers. I think that Luka, if he's cooking offensively and LeBron can somehow muster 2 weeks of energy and give us vintage playoff vibes, I think you could really see something, I don't know, come out of that. I think Tuesday could be possibly a portal into the future. I think, Celtics, though, I hate them so much, but they also, it could be the Cavs. But I wanted to say that for my dad because he's a huge Cavs fan. Bigger point, though, if Luka, keeps his temperature and his temper under control and really does that deep breathing and stays hydrated and doesn't just pop off on these random technical fouls, I think my Lakers could really make it far this year. I say that every year, but I say it every single year, but there's something different about 2026. I'm feeling something different. And I think,
say that every year too.
I know. But I think it could honestly, Tuesday, stay tuned for that Lakers-Cavs game. I'm going to be watching it vigilantly. I think it could be a very interesting preview of what's to come. But let's let that magic cook for the Lakers and bring back that 90s flair. I think we might be able to see it, hopefully, before LeBron gets too old and leaves us. That's my take.
Okay. All right,
also,
I love it.
On the whole, Luka tech thing, that last one wasn't a tech. I feel what are we doing?
That last
completely
one?
agree.
He's doing. He did it because he was going to get suspended for the Washington Wizards.
Who nobody cares about.
Really? Okay.
So I think
but he gave. But hold on a second. But hold on. Luka gave up $274,000.
That's why he's crying for that MVP, Rick.
I'm just saying, I don't understand why the Lakers didn't appeal this, because I think the NBA would have rescinded this one too, and it would have been 4 for 4. Daylan, I completely agree with you. That was, to me, that was not a tech on Luka. That was a tech on Zaire Williams and a play on for Luka.
For sure.
Completely agree.
And you know what? If you want to go back to the question about does Luka deserve more love, I think his whining also contributes to him not getting the love he thinks he deserves.
I agree.
Yeah, that's why he needs to do meditation, honestly. Keep
anger issues.
Yeah, take 3 breaths in, hold for 3, exhale for 3.
Does Luka need to go to the Draymond Green School for anger management? Don't answer that.
Absolutely.
Daylan, do you have anything anything left to complete your thought there, Daylan?
Oof. I know this is off Luka, but just Random rant. Oh, okay.
You can rant anything, girl. It be about your nail tip. It can be about somebody.
Her nails look good.
I know.
Okay, mine's about that.
Oh my gosh, should we talk about the press?
I love the press.
No, but like I've been annoyed with the questions that they've been bringing up. Like, mostly with the females, but like AZ Fudd had a great game. Not her last game, but the one before where she scored like 5-6 threes, and the reporter's like, "Yeah, I heard it's because you cut your nails," and I'm like,
"You would never
ask
that
what I'm doing right now." Like,
right.
Why is that maybe like, have you been in the gym lately? How many shots have you been getting up? Like, what have you been working on? It was like, oh, we heard you cut your nails down. Like, you would never say that in a guy's press conference.
Not at all.
It's like,
never.
Sorry,
maybe to Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
Yeah, well, maybe to Caleb. Yeah, you throwing the football better. Did you get a acrylic or a gel?
I'm just saying. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Like, the nails are a big thing for Caleb Williams. All right, Ashley, come on in here, man. What's your rant or final thought? Take us where you want to go.
Ooh, so this might be a little controversial, but I love controversial and I don't care. I think a lot of these former players that are coming on these podcasts now and talking absolutely crazy is overshadowing everything they were able to accomplish in the NBA. For example, let's start with Patrick Beverley. And I understand that he wasn't a superstar player, but for him to be able to make it in the NBA the way he did, grinding it out, playing overseas all those years, coming into the league and actually making such a big impact on every team that he played for, especially on the defensive end. Like, everyone needs a Patrick Beverley. And now he's going on these podcasts and talking absolutely insane and disrespecting all the guys that have come before him, guys that are playing right now, and just talking out of his ass. I mean, you're downplaying everything you were able to accomplish in your career by doing that. And the same thing, like, I hate to say this, but Isaiah Thomas is a legend. And he's coming on here talking about how if you replace Michael Jordan with KD, he would have won all these championships in Chicago. Like, you notice how he didn't say, oh, what if KD replaced me, right? Why does he have to always go to Michael Jordan? Like, why is that always the guy that he wants to pick on year after year? You're tarnishing your reputation. You're tarnishing who you were as a player. You were a legend with the Pistons, a champion, bad boy Pistons. Like, you did so much for the game. And I just think a lot of these guys, and I love Charles Barkley. Even he sometimes comes on these, the shows and he's talking down to these players, and a lot of it's to do with money. I understand you didn't make as much money as these guys did back in the day, but you still shouldn't be able to come on here and disrespect the game like that. And I just think a lot of these old heads, I know they're doing it for clicks. I understand how ratings work as a media member myself. I totally get it, but you're tarnishing who you were as a player. And I just think that we should be holding them to a higher standard, the guys that have actually played. And I think we want more of that. And now we're seeing that, on Prime, we're seeing that now on all these other streaming platforms, guys that actually want to talk the game. Leave the shit talking to us, okay? Leave it to the media, leave it to us to talk shit. Like, that's what my job is. But the players, like, come on, they need guys, they need allies. So that's just the one part for me that's just getting a little annoying.
So grinding your damn gears.
So
I like that. Good rant.
So it was a great rant. Ashley and our audience and everybody, let me give you a little context on Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan. So way back in the day, Isaiah thinks that Jordan had him kicked off the dream team. So Isaiah Thomas has held a grudge for 40 years or whatever it is. Peter Vesey, legendary NBA reporter, we just had him on the show a week or so ago. He put out a tweet that said something to the effect of Michael Jordan had nothing to do with leaving Isaiah Thomas off that team. Now, that's open to interpretation and your belief and all that kind of stuff, but Peter Vesey is one of the GOATs of telling us what the heck is up in the NBA, and that came from him. All right, so my thing is, and I'll make this quick, I love Isaiah Thomas. I worked with him for a decade, okay? I'm buddies with Isaiah Thomas. But his constant diminishing of Michael Jordan and his constant uplifting of LeBron James is so old and tired and awful. And Isaiah, please move on to something else. Talk about your champagne company. Talk about anything else But that, okay, Isaiah Thomas, I do love you, but please cease and desist all of that. B-Dot, oh, pardon me, you go last. All right, Dr. X, what is your rant, my friend?
Knicks.
Oh God.
You have no real estate. You have no real estate up here. I'm good. But ladies, I want to shout you out. Daylan, Ashley, Katie, thank you for being on the show. Happy Women's History Month, as well as just coming with your talent, coming with your knowledge. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Want to also shout out my UConn Huskies, but don't want to overlook my Duke Blue Devils. I really feel bad for Caden Boozer. But I don't think it's just one thing. There's several things that happen when you lose a game like that, and I just hope that they're gonna remember this for the rest of their life. Like you're gonna see the replay for like at least another month, and every time you see anybody in public, someone's gonna bring it up, whether it's a fan or a hater. But hopefully they have strong mental. Hopefully they get stronger from this. And lastly, I just want to shout out my Knicks. Man, it's tough being a Knicks fan. It only builds your faith. And it's gonna be you guys just pray for me because it's gonna be a tough, I would say, next 2 months of watching the Knicks because you just never know what you're gonna get. They have to be clicking on all cylinders to be great. But I'm surprisingly I'm more motivated to see a better Knicks team in the playoffs because you have several bites at the apple, and they're not going to be that bad every night. But you just never know who's going to show up outside of Brunson every night. And I just think that with matchups, playoffs is a whole different sport. And I think with matchups being a big thing in the NBA and in the NBA playoffs, I think the Knicks have a better chance. But it's painful, man. It's painful. You just never know which team's going to show up. And when someone else starts doing well, then someone else doesn't show up. Someone else starts pouting. Someone else does stupid fouls. And but at least they're a good team. But I need more than just a finals appearance and not getting swept. I need to see excellence. And I do believe in this roster. I do believe they're a good team. Their record shows it. Their last five, they're also top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense. But the problem is they're not able to string that together on every given night against the best teams. So I just hope they can do that in the playoff matchups, and that's we just got to watch and see.
Doc, I got to follow up real quick. Got a little question for you. Do you feel like Oklahoma City actually beat your Knicks yesterday?
Yeah, man. I don't like to say the refs beat us. I hate when people say that. I think if you play well enough and don't let the refs get in your head, that it's going to be out of contention that way. I feel like Karl-Anthony Towns didn't turn up his game until the second half. He looked like he was pouting. I'm not sure if he was pouting towards his teammates or pouting at the refs, not getting calls. But if it affects your aggressiveness on the other end, which I think it did, and then you can't have Caruso guarding you. You got to let these smaller guys that are trying to guard you rethink that very quickly. And so I like that they were force feeding him. And I think Jose Rodriguez, not Jose Rodriguez. What's his name again? I forget his name because he's been horrible the last couple. Oh yeah. Alvarado finally started hitting some threes finally, but he also has been very good in making sure Cat stays dialed in and has been given the ball in like key situations. So I think they were force feeding him, and Caruso was having a hard time D'ing him up. But I don't think it's the refs. I don't think it is crazy that they got 38 free throws and we only got 18. But maybe we should look in the mirror first and try to be more aggressive. So Karl-Anthony Towns should have went to the line a lot more. So that's my takeaway. Like, you got to be better. They're champs for a reason.
Josh Hart did foul SGA, by the way. I saw a screenshot of it. Not the replay, but somebody had a screenshot of it, and he clearly hit SGA on the right arm. Because to the naked eye, it didn't look like a foul, but then somebody put that picture out and was like, okay. But Doc, great stuff. All right, Dwight Walton. Ooh, you got elbow room. You're going to box us out like Terrace Reed yesterday. What's up, dude?
I have several rants on several topics. The first topic is I think it's time. I think it's time for Major League Baseball to stop wasting our time. This new ABS system that's in place, which I think is great for baseball, just get rid of the home plate umpire. He is no longer needed. Anytime a pitch is not close, the hitter is going to tap his head, ask for a review, and it's either going to be a strike or a ball. Why even have the controversy? Just simply get rid of the home plate umpire and have umpires on the base pass, and then when the playoffs start, also have umpires on the baselines for fair or foul ball calls. But the life of the home umpire is slowly dwindling away. They're not going to be needed eventually. Although I truly believe this ABS system is working. Also, going to the NBA, I'm getting sick and tired of seeing players, Luka Doncic in particular, twirling their finger every time they question a call.
Everybody does
I
that.
think it needs to get to the point where if you twirl your finger and you ask your coach or coaching staff on the iPad to check to see if the call is questionable, if the call is wrong, yes, you already lose your timeout, but if the call is wrong, assess the player a technical foul as well.
No,
that
he
will
already has
stop the
enough.
player from doing this. I think it's getting way out of hand. It needs to stop. That parlays into my next rant. This is why I believe the NBA and the NCAA men's needs to go full FIBA. Have technical fouls count as personal fouls. If that's the case, you'll see the players stop whining. So it all goes hand in hand. The women already have it. The men need to go to 4 quarters, 10 minutes, and call a timeout, advance the basketball, 24-second shot clock, being able to hit the ball off the rim, all of that stuff. So to recap, baseball needs to get rid of the behind the plate umpires. Technical fouls for the players that twirl their finger, and if they lose the challenge, they get a technical foul. And basketball, to me in general, needs to go full FIBA. Take the game out of the coach's hands and have the players decide what happens in terms of success. That's my rant.
We don't need to we don't need the recaps, cuz we don't need recaps.
Doc, I kind of miss the bickering. It's been a phenomenal show, but we haven't had a lot of Doc Dwight bickering. So I'm trying to stoke it up.
There's a lot of people.
Cast here, so I don't. There's a lot of people. So I'm trying to keep my succinct. You know what I mean?
So, but Doc, I got to ask you a question here. This is not a roundtable thing. This is just for you. Do you agree with your cousin that a player that twirls the finger and loses the call should be assessed a technical foul? Seems a little radical. Do you agree with that?
It seems a little gruff, like old man on the lawn. Get off my lawn. Like, yes, it is. Because the players have to be able to vent somehow. You can't just be handing out texts. You gotta be able to vent. So he's not showing up the rep. He's just telling his coach, because sometimes the coaches aren't looking. They actually have the best view. If you feel someone foul you, hey, coach, trust me, if you look at the replay, because if you wait for that stupid replay to finally show, especially if you're in an opposing arena, they're going to take a little bit longer to show that replay. If they're going to move on from it already. So you got to give your play. But I would say the players should be internally fined by their team if every single time they do this and they end up being wrong and losing timeouts. I would have like a little system that is within the team where the players get corrected from overdoing this because it's messing up their coaching staff.
Because players are twirling their finger on the first possession. It's ridiculous. On the first possession. Come on, man.
Well, that's a coach. That's a coach player issue. That's a coach.
They will stop.
That's a coach. That's a coach player issue. That's too extreme.
That's the whole idea. Luka will stop. Trust me. If you give him a tee,
no, he won't.
He's always doing this.
No, he won't.
But it's not fair. It's not fair because ultimately he can do this, but it's not showing up the ref. Technically speaking, it's not showing up the ref. He can continue to do that, but
he just can't do this.
Yeah. Just review it, right?
Nah, get rid of it. I'm sick and tired of seeing this. Get rid of it.
All right, that was some decent bickering. I'm glad I went there. All right. That was a success right there. B-Dot, bring us home, man. Run to the tape.
Is my camera right here? Straight ahead? Where's my camera at? This right here, this main joint right here?
No, the first one.
Okay. Yeah, and Dwight, I do agree with you about going to FIBA rules because I learned the hard way. Also, another rule, flopping in overseas equals a tech. Because I used to shoot threes, I kick my leg out, and next I'm thinking I got the foul. Next I got a tech and a personal foul. So that will also diminish flopping. But let's go ahead and get straight to 100%. It. The WNBA has stepped into a new stage, a new era, and I would love to applaud that. They've gotten more money, higher salary caps. And with that comes more recognition. A lot of over the years they've been saying, what should you do with this money? Invest in the league. Give the women more money, and I'm glad they've reached that. And I want to just give 100% credit to the WNBA players and their group of women that told them that, hey, we're gonna fight for this, and they got more bread. Now, what are you gonna do with that money? You're gonna invest it? You're going to how are you going to grow the game with that money? What are you going to do with that money personally? Because a lot of women haven't had that amount of money in the game in a long time. What are you going to do? You're going to, for your family, business purposes. For me, fly your brother out. All right. You got the bread now. The NBA players been doing it for the women all the time. Now it's time for the WNBA players. Okay. No more. I can't fly you out, Daddy. It's the budget, You might gotta go on Southwest, so you can get a little flight there and then drive there. I ain't been single in 6 years, okay? It's my first year single in 6 years, okay? I need y'all to fly a brother out, okay? If I want to go to a Dallas Wings game, boom, put me in first. You ain't got to put me in first. Give me an exit row seat, bulkhead seat, extra leg room, okay? I think that will grow the game even more, okay? Because brothers like us, we love our athletic women. We love our WNBA women. We love to be able to see a woman eye to eye, same height. You go through the struggles with me as an athlete, okay? We can relate all that. But now, put the money where the mouth is, okay? I want Delta. You feel me? I don't even got to be sitting first class. Give me premium, all right? I want some little perks, all right? And when I land, I want an Uber Black. Wow. And that's not asking too much. That's not asking. Okay, well, Uber comfort. You don't got to be an Uber Black, all right, depending on what state it is, all right? But overall, jokes all aside, I want to just give credit to the WNBA and that organization for finally getting it right. And I think they deserve even more money, but, we got to, like Rick said, it's a stepping stone into the right direction. And shout out all the women in the world. My mom, I was raised by women. Shout out to all my kids' mother. I hope that, you guys, I hope me shouting you guys out will lower that child support a little bit more. And just, overall in general, shout out to all the women, because at the end of the day, without you, we wouldn't be here at all. And I appreciate the ladies for coming on to the show. Doc, thank you for booking this beautiful view right here. I have to look at y'all all day, and I'm here in person now, so we appreciate you guys, and hopefully we see you guys more. And hey, that got X-rated. That's my rant.
Let's go.
Boom. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of a extravaganza of sports media. I want to send a huge thanks to Coach Reggie Theus for blessing us with his time and his wisdom. I want to send a super huge special shout out to these ladies right here. Ashley Nevel, Daylan Bonner, Katie Felder. You all are super talented. Your personalities are just beaming and bountiful. Your sports opinions are great. Can't wait for Thursday's show. We will do this again. So for Daylan, for Ashley, for Katie, for B-Dot, for Reggie, for Dr. X, for Dwight, and me, Rick Kamla. It's also Jason behind the glass and Kai Josephson behind the glass. A lot of moving parts today, and they always do a phenomenal job. I love you all. Hugs and kisses. Enjoy the women's college games tonight. And we will see you on Thursday with more of Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. Y'all have a great couple of days, and we are out.